I'm often asked, who is your greatest guest? And I don't know. It's an impossible question, really, when you think about it. I mean, what scale would you possibly use that could apply to giving you the answer to whether Orson Welles was a better guest than Alfred Hitchcock, or if Groucho was a better guest than Jack Benny? It just, they aren't comparable, I guess, is the thing you finally have to say. But I know one thing that was known for sure. The common wisdom was that no one will ever get Katharine Hepburn in front of a television camera, and it was gospel. Her privacy over the years, when, as she said, she was living a life that gossip columnists would have loved to know about in Hollywood, her privacy was practically enforced by the military. It was total. So forget about it was the word used whenever one thought of getting Miss K.H. from Hartford for a show. Getting her was really a kind of miracle. I still don't know for sure. I know that Irene Selznick, her great friend, Irene Mayer Selznick, and Lauren Bacall had urged her to do it. To this day, I do not know if she ever saw me on television or not. But I did get her, and Barbara Walters has a kind of strained look when she speaks to me still. But it was a challenge, and Hepburn likes a challenge, and she likes something new, and she likes to conquer things. And that and all those other elements, I guess, added up to it. Shall I shut up now so you can just sit back and be dazzled?
Hi, I'm Dick Cavett. One of the facts of life of doing a talk show is that some of the most interesting people in the world won't do them. One of them is Katharine Hepburn. She has spent most of her life avoiding the press, and I wish I had a nickel for every time someone has said, wouldn't it be wonderful just to be able to sit and listen to that woman talk? Well, one afternoon recently, never having been on television, she agreed to come into my studio for a test only, to check things out, see how it looked and felt. She checked the cameras, the lights, these chairs, the temperature in the studio. She pronounced the carpet ugly. And then she surprised me by suddenly saying, why don't we just go ahead and do it now? And we did. There was no audience. The laughter you'll hear is from a few lucky staff members and musicians who wandered into the empty theater and were delighted to see who was sitting here. At the beginning, the first thing you will see is some tape she allowed us to show that was made when she didn't even know the cameras were rolling. So when we come back, you will get a rare behind-the-scenes view of Katharine Hepburn making up her mind. Join us.
I see the carpet's an entirely different color. Is that going to be with me?
Sure.
I can put my glass of water in the grease in that. Mmm. Yes, I can't remember which direction. I go one particular direction.
Come down here. We can try both. Come on.
Yes. That's the way you're going to go.
Well,
You look nice.
You make me feel this way.
What?
You make me feel this way.
Yes. We go all right.
I generally
There, together.
You
You do. No, I think I go the other way. God, are we glued here? We glued here.
It's a little heavy.
And can't we have a stationary table? Can we have a table that's...
John?
Nobody answers
Can we
in
get
this
a
business.
table with that doesn't wobble here?
Sure. Right now,
It's like
do you want it?
Yeah, nail it down.
It's like a butterfly.
Nail it
Mickey.
down.
What if you want to get up and dance?
What?
You may want to get up and move the table
Get a
aside.
table that's not-
No, I wouldn't move
You'd
the
never
table
wanna move the
aside. I
table.
want to put my feet on it.
Yeah, it's a hell of a good idea.
You know, this is... Haven't you got something we can put our feet on?
Some
Switch the other one. This one a little better? Okay.
If
This might be
this
better.
is a little solider.
Move it out. Move it out.
Just put this out here.
I have a card. I've been in the business so long, I don't want any complaints from the unions.
Is that one wrong?
I'm an honorary member.
That's right, you are.
Yeah, this is heavier.
That's better and better for feet, I think.
Is this all your stuff?
Yeah, well,
On me.
I just wanted you to show you. This is what it would look like sitting there.
Yes, that's better. That's all right.
That's great.
Yeah.
We should have thought of this before. Where were you when I needed you?
Well, that carpet, if anybody can survive that carpet,
You can.
we're doing well. And I personally am going to dye it by tomorrow morning, I can tell you that. Gee whiz.
Couldn't we perhaps spray it a little blue or gray, maybe?
Or put a rug over it.
Put
I'll bring one.
an actual carpet.
Whose idea was that?
What color would you like?
Well, I'd like no color.
No color.
Just go into the nothing. Let us be the color. God knows I'm red enough in the face, but I clash with that.
Very seldom shows up in the shop. The carpet.
Once is too much.
We'll get a different.
Put something over it, you know, I mean,
86,
so that
the
we're all
carpet.
one color, dark brown.
Something like
And
this.
paint this dark brown.
You got that, Ronnie? You taking a note? Okay.
Don't laugh,
No, it's true.
because I can do it.
You'll do it. You don't have to do that.
It does.
I'll just have that here. A rose? Would you
Well,
like
come and give it a pull.
Could
you
we have
know.
a mirror?
Cash. No, don't.
Oh, no.
Never face the truth. Not when you've gotten this far.
I'm learning a lot.
Forget it. Oh, yes. I've been on the dressing table, and I know every habit.
Oh, God. See, I selected those pictures for you in the mirror.
Which one?
Oh, did
I
you
never
have-
saw the picture. I
Oh.
just see the bottles. I know all your problems, Dick. We'll have a long talk.
Oh, no. I can't wait. I'll pretend that I share
Should
that.
be loose.
Loose.
And half falling down, you know, and then I'll move it around.
Okay.
What?
It was a loose for the, yeah, it was a loose for the,
Don't tell me what's wrong. Just fix it. Haven't we got a rug that they could put over this thing?
They don't have one right now. Is that right?
How about a drop cloth?
You haven't got a goddamn thing yet. I want to John Golden had a great big office here, you see,
Where was it?
right up where you are.
Yeah,
And I think, or else at the front of the theater.
yeah.
And there was never any room for the actors, and there still isn't. I'll get made up at home.
Well, didn't
Because
there
at least I'm used to running water. They put you in the green room.
was it Belasco who had a big office up in the Flies somewhere or something and used to watch the actors
Yes,
in his office?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Where was that? Is that still there?
Belasco
Yeah.
Theater.
Then what's the one that W.C. Fields was in? That's the...
I don't know.
Amsterdam Roof or something like that. Amsterdam.
No, I don't know
Like
that.
that-
I know
like that-
Hopkins. But this theater was the scene of a... Why don't they just start? Have they started?
Well, they're...
I
Okay.
see.
Yeah. We'll be back after this message with Katharine Hepburn. Stay with us.
Well, we could have music.
Yeah.
We have the orchestra.
That's right. we can have an orchestra here.
Let's just sit here and talk.
Okay.
That's what...
I feel awful about putting you through this whole thing because I know it violates your principles in some sense, and I feel guilty about
Which
that.
principle?
Well, I guess the principle of not making a ludicrous spectacle of yourself in public.
Oh, my God.
And,
Pardon me.
I hope you're not planning to do
Is that
anything
what you're
like
looking
that.
forward to?
That's what I kind of hoped
That's
I
what you're
could
liable to get.
do. Anyway, then I would probably
Well,
apologize
my
for that.
only experience in this theater, I made a ludicrous spectacle of myself. I played about 40-odd years ago through this theater. Not in this theater. They wouldn't even take me in this theater. I had to fly out to Minneapolis to join a company of the Night Hostess, which was being produced by John Golden and Winchell Smith. And Winchell Smith lived in Farmington, Connecticut. And I'd been fired out of the only job I had been offered, and he gave me a walk-on as a hostess in a thing called Night Hostess.
The title
And I
sounds...
gave the worst performance that has ever been seen, because I was supposed to be a wicked fascinator. And I wasn't very wicked, and I hadn't learned how to be a fascinator. I never did learn how to be that kind of a fascinator.
The title sounds very racy. Was it really a play that would raise eyebrows
Well, it was
today?
Phil Dunning and Winchell Smith. Yes, it was calculated to raise the eyebrows, and
Yeah.
I don't think it raised them enough. So it sat down. I don't think it ever came to New York. I got a better job, and I flew back in from Minneapolis, deciding that I wasn't going to succeed that way.
You said you were fired, though. I can't imagine anybody having the
No,
nerve.
no. I was fired from another thing.
Yeah, but
I
why?
was fired because I wasn't very good.
Oh, is that the only reason?
Yes, well, that's usually the reason you're fired.
Yeah.
I found out. I used to think it would be nice to know why you were fired. And somebody told me once, and I've decided it's much better to feel that you were put upon when you were fired.
Is that what you tell yourself in order to keep going?
No, that's what I always told myself. Well, I
Yeah.
told myself the same thing a few months ago when I was fired, but I've been constantly fired.
And you've been on this very stage.
So I would appreciate it if you'd fire me now and I'd go home and never come back.
Maybe I can arrange something. Well, if you make a
No,
leap-
I had a very funny experience, actually. I came here to this particular theater from playing the leading part in a thing called The Big Pond. Do you want to hear the story
Yeah, The
of
Big
my
Pond.
life? I presume that's why I'm here.
Sure, as long as
Tell
I'm here.
The story of my life. So I went out to Great Neck to play in the Big Pond, and I had started out as an understudy, and I was always a pretty good flash actor. I could read a part without knowing what I was doing better than anyone in the whole world. I mean, I could laugh and cry, and I could always get the part.
First time.
First time. Never could keep it. They got on to me after a while.
I
I'd lose
understand
my
that.
voice, fall down, get red in the face, talk too fast, and couldn't act when they were all sitting out there. Just petrified me.
I understand that. You know that I acted
And
a
then
little
I
bit.
love these terrible situations, you see, that I'm in now.
But this is-
Wondering how I'm going to escape. It's the sort of criminal instinct or something.
Yeah, it's a challenge for you, I know.
It's a challenge.
I would bet that you've had a bad dream about how this would go in the last couple of nights.
No, I've had a bad dream my whole life about everything and how everything would go. And it's turned out to be a bad dream.
And this is only part of it.
This is the end.
Can you remember your dressing room in this theater? And did they have this carpet and these walls?
You mean, can I remember your dressing room in this theater? Because that's what
I was
I've
hoping
just
you
come out of.
weren't going to mention that.
Well,
yeah.
my dressing room in this theater, I had a dressing room. No, I never had any dressing room in this theater because I never played in it. But I had a dressing room with a man named Alfred De Leagro, who became a very well-known producer.
Right.
And he and I shared a bathroom. We had no bathroom. Shared a dressing room at the Maxine Elliott Theater, which was, I think, on 38th or 9th Street, 41st Street, now torn down. Wonderful theater, and we were up on the 5th floor together. And I was on when he was off, and vice versa. So we had a great time.
And did you also share an apartment?
No, we didn't. We didn't
that would
share.
work,
No, that would have looked badly in those days. But this was accepted. And
Well, I didn't mean
I was
him.
fired out of that show. Well, what did you mean?
I meant ever. I mean, sometimes people...
With anyone?
Well, you
Yes,
suggested...
I've shared apartments with people.
I wasn't probing. I'm sorry.
I don't understand the question, Mr. Cavett.
Okay, let me
Have you ever shared an apartment? What would you mean?
Well,
What would I mean?
Well, since you said yes, I'll say yes, too.
Yes, well, we leave it with the usual sort of
Okay.
take it any way you like it.
No,
But
I thought-
anyway, I played, you keep interrupting the long story of my life. If you just shut up, I'd be able to,
I won't speak again for the
you
next
never
hour.
listen, that'll be the day. Or that'll be the night. But anyway, which story do you want to hear?
Anything at all. I think the...
All right, well, now I'll tell you the story about the Big Pond, because this
Okay.
was very profound, and this was my start in life. I went into this show as an understudy, and I had worked 2 weeks for a man named Edwin Knopf, who's the brother of Alfred Knopf, and a very sweet and distinguished man who gave me my first job after I graduated from Bryn Mawr. And he said, write me a letter, and I will tell you whether we can use you or not. So my father said, never write, go, and appear in person. So I went down to Baltimore, and I appeared. I didn't even know there was a stage door in the theater. And I went in, and I sat down, and I watched a rehearsal. It was a very distinguished company. Mary Boland, Elliot Cavett, Kenneth McGowan, a really good company, and they were doing a thing called the Tsarina the following week. And nobody told me to leave, so I sat down in the audience, and I waited and waited and waited, and finally, 5 hours passed. And I nearly died. I got excited. I had to go to the John. It was pitch dark. I felt my way around trying to find a ladies' room. Finally did. Came back, sat down. And Eddie Knopf was always sitting right up in the front of the audience watching this dress rehearsal. And finally just walked by me and said, report for rehearsal Monday.
And that's how you got
That's how I got my job.
Is that the...
I didn't say how much or anything. So I got my job and was given a nice little part in the Tsarina. Went for the costume thing at the end of the week. And they said, come at 10 to pick your costume. So I got there at 9:45. I thought, boy, I'm being smart. All the girls were there. All the good clothes were gone. And it was, you know, sort of bouffant skirts.
Yeah.
And I was a lady in mating. Pardon me. See, I'm a bit nervous.
Do you believe
a
in...
lady, a lady in waiting. Do I believe in? You couldn't keep quiet. I know.
No, I know. I was
going
to...
You just had to
I was going to ask
interfere.
you believed in Freudian slips when you said that, but go, carry on.
Yes, I do.
You were a lady in waiting and...
Freudian slips. Well, there was no Freudian slip for me that wasn't this short. So, a little girl in the company came up to me and she said, Katharine, I got here at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I have the best costume. And I think you're someday going to be a big star. And I'm going to get married in 2 weeks. And I want you to take my costume, because the one you have looks silly on you. And I nearly fainted, and I looked at her, and I thought, if you have any character, you'll say, you're terribly sweet, but I can't do it. But I didn't. I said, do you mean that? She said, yes. I said, thank you very much. Let me try it on. And I took it.
Who was that woman?
I don't know.
What a great story.
Isn't that a wonderful story?
And to this day, you don't
Well,
know
to
who-
this day, see, people have been terribly sweet to me.
Yeah.
But that was really kind.
Yeah.
Because I was stuck with something that I had a long, scrawny neck then,
That's right.
still, worse now. And, you know, I was tall and I looked like a perfect fool. And I could have tried to fix it up, but I couldn't. And I got very good notices in a small part. Then I had to play something like the night hostess in a thing, Torchbearers. Played a wicked woman and was a big flop, and thought, better go and learn to talk, because I would get so excited that my voice would shoot way up in the top of my head, and I wouldn't know what I could do. I could start, but I couldn't. It just went up, and I lost total control. And with 1 ounce of encouragement from the audience, I talked so fast that nobody could understand a word I said.
Well, when was it you actually studied acting then?
I never studied acting.
Never?
Well, I studied with quite a number of people. I studied with Frances Robinson Duff in New York. I studied voice, and you used to blow a candle out. So you'd have and feel her diaphragm go in. I never understood a word of it. I'd blow, and I was so excited, I'd blow from here, and I'd lose my voice every time I played, because I was petrified.
I did too.
And I kept, I can help you. I could see that by your dressing table.
I have a feeling we're going to get around
all
to
the
that.
tragic remedies of the actor's big worry, which is, can I talk?
My voice, yeah.
Can I walk?
Exactly.
Can I move?
Yeah.
So I've gotten to the can I move in real life stage.
But that
And
fear,
it's amazing how grateful you are if you can just do what you're supposed to do.
just the minimum things, move, talk, and walk.
Well, move, talk,
Yeah,
walk,
I know.
or breathe.
But
And the trouble is you can't breathe, and this would terrify me. Well, I decided I would study with Frances Robinson Duff. And my father, who had no interest at all in a theatrical career, he said, you're awful good off the tee at golf because people are watching you, so you show off. But you're no good up near the green because the audience is gone. And I said, well, Daddy, I don't think this is that. And he said, it's one step from the streets as far as I'm concerned. And he said, it's an unhealthy profession. So when I took this job, I had no money. So when I wanted to have lessons, I had no money. And they were, it was about $10 an hour or something like that. It was quite expensive, Frances Duff. She was the best teacher there was. And so I wrote Dad and said, would you back me? in lessons. And he wrote me and said that he was making a certain amount of money winning bets on the golf course, and he considered that that was bad money, so he'd send it to me.
Oh, that's
to
great.
use for my lessons.
Yeah. And he didn't try to discourage you because the business was immoral? He seemed to think it was.
He didn't certainly encourage me. He didn't
Yeah.
say, honey, I think you're going to be a great star.
You think
I think Mother was glad to see me do something rather than marry.
Yeah.
She was a real feminist, and she thought, move
Yeah.
on.
Did she actually carry placards and get arrested and all
Yes,
those
yes.
things? That's how I
Yes,
picture her
yes.
from what
Yes,
I've read.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And have you been encouraged by the women's movement to get out on the streets and carry the signs?
No,
and,
because we did that, a very, very long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think that is a strange situation because women and men simply are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not the same. And women, unfortunately, have to bear the children.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with them? And I think they're men who are all the same and all, well. And then there are women like me
Yeah.
who have lived like men.
Knew what you wanted.
Well,
went out
I
and
knew
got
that
it.
I was brought up in a big family, and I was brought up great, just
Yeah.
brought up great. I had a fascinating mother, a fascinating father, and a wonderful childhood.
How
I
lucky
really
you.
did. And I have a wonderful family now, and I have my roots in the same place that I was brought up, and I'm extraordinarily lucky, and that's just luck.
It's just
isn't it?
luck.
It's just luck.
That's the thing about you, I have a feeling that millions of people think the following about you. She knows how she wants to live her life. She's succeeded at it. It's all worked out. She got what she wanted. And they feel that you probably have some guiding principles, some secret, that if only they knew them, they could be as successful and as content as you seem to be. But you say it's luck, that there aren't 2 or 3 rules.
No,
or...
I think it's, in the first place, it's lucky if you have an intelligent and brilliant and inspiring father and mother.
Yeah.
And it's lucky if you've had experiences before the age of 15 which teach you not to be afraid, because fear is what we all suffer from. I mean, fear is what you and I suffer from, trying to be fascinating, which is an asinine position to be in, really. Here I am, and aren't I great department, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you're never sure that you can do it. But if you have been taught basic freedom from fear and a basic belief in what you're doing that is sufficient to carry you when everyone and his uncle thinks you're wrong,
Yeah.
and you still think, well, God damn it, I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right, and I'm going to do it. Or if you're, sort of inspired by something. For instance, doing this. Now, I disapprove of doing this. I think the story of my life is, how the hell could I tell the story of my life? I can't tell you the things and wouldn't think of it that have made me do this or this or this at certain periods, because then I would be fixing it so that you knew my secret.
Yeah.
And my secret is what pushes me on, and each one of us has a secret, and you go to Montauk and you try to rebuild your secret, and I go to the mouth of the Connecticut River in my childhood, and I try to rebuild mine, all to give us confidence to push on. Now, I say lucky because I was born with energy. I was lucky to be born with a combination of qualities that were apparently interesting in the early 30s when I began to sort of look around and be noticed.
Yeah.
Even before that, when I was a kid in a golf tournament, and I sunburned a lot and got blisters, and I had to have 2 caddies, one to carry an umbrella, and I'd get the headline on the sport page, Hartford youngster. Do you know what I mean? I was just lucky to apparently be colorful.
And you have this thing about being able to conquer fear. Do you have a lot of fear, though? Does it scare you to start
Yes,
a new
I
movie?
think it
Scare you
is.
to
I
start a
think
new
it
play?
starts. It terrifies. anybody who's intelligent to do anything. I think I've been absolutely petrified all my life, and as I'm totally one track, I look at the thing and just hope I'm going to drop dead before it happens. How I ever opened in Coco, I don't know. And in the lake in 1933, which I came back to kind of punish myself because I have a sort of Puritan streak and think, you know, if it hurts, it's doing you good, or if it's hard, it's better for your character, or some cuckoo thing.
Bill's character.
Bill's character, you know.
Yeah.
And I had hit it lucky in the movies, and I had a wonderful part, a wonderful director, and an angel, Jack Barrymore, who just would push me toward the camera in a part that everybody had made a hit in. That was just lucky, you know. I mean, how the hell can you call it anything else?
Yeah. A lot of people will be damn glad to know that you've been afraid of things because you sometimes
well, I
give
think
the
the whole
impression
human
that-
race is petrified.
Yeah.
I'm a good cover-upper.
We have to take a message. We'll be right back. I keep, I should tell this, I suppose. When I talked to you on the phone the other day, you suggested that I take a boat into New York because I was out of town.
Yeah.
And you said, because there's always the chance you'll drown. And I knew you didn't really, really want to go on television like that. And then you said, then there's a chance that you would be killed, and then I could get a lot of people together to say how sweet you are.
Yes.
You thought
Why
that
don't
would-
you just say how sweet I am?
I'm willing to say it, and
I'm here, but I'm liable to drop dead any minute. So keep going.
I'll put it in writing if you'd like that. But I know that one of the reasons you were willing to put yourself through it was the American Film Theater, AFT, I guess people are going to call it.
Yeah.
And I happen to know that you did a movie for them, and that this is a revolutionary idea, really, that a man named Eli Landau seems to have dreamed up.
Yeah.
And people, stop me if I'm wrong, people all around the country will get a chance to subscribe in 400, I think there are...
500 theaters, 400 places.
In 400 cities, 500 theaters.
Yeah.
And they will get to see 8 movies,
That's right.
and it's something like $30.
Remarkable movies, remarkable actors.
And you did one at a price that your agent must have fainted dead
No,
away
no, no.
at.
Well, that's not unusual for me. If it interests you, they don't need to pay you. It's a fascinating business anyway. It's very nice to be paid. But when you do thrilling material, it's like buying a piece of furniture that's really good. When you buy it and it's great, you get enormous pleasure out of seeing it, and you never remember how much it costs. That's the one thing you really forget.
I always never buy it. I always go the other way and regret it. I'm glad to...
Yes, well, that's stupid. But these...
Thank you.
Well, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've got the furniture.
I wish I'd met you years ago. I'd have done a lot of things
Yeah,
right.
well, you'd have a lot of good furniture when you could get it for a small price. Now, I have to say, you can get these movies.
Yeah.
They will be shown 4 performances, 2 matinees and 2 evenings each month.
Yeah.
1 picture, 2 pictures, 3 pictures, 4 pictures over a period of 8 months.
Yeah.
One of those I'm in, so I hope you'll go and see that.
And that's
And
called...
that's A Delicate Balance, Edward Albee's play.
Edward Albee's play.
And it's a play which ordinarily wouldn't be done. It's a part which ordinarily one would not get an opportunity to play, which is true of all the properties which Eli has collected. And I have the feeling that the American audience is not so stupid that they like constantly to be played down to. And, you know, fed the same old junk time after time, which is going further and further and further in what direction, nobody knows. But it is not necessarily the product of the brilliant writers in this country and other countries who are available, and also of actors. Now, you can hire any actor for a brilliant part for a little amount of money.
But your agent...
Well, anyone.
faints.
I don't know. The agents even have finally come to that. And I do think that it is terribly important in our country to try to improve our product. Improve our product so that an audience can go and say, well, yes, I've seen his plays, I've seen her plays, I've seen this one's plays, and I've seen so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so in them. They're movie productions, they're brilliant directors, they're brilliant properties, they're wonderful parts, and they're thrilling.
When I first heard
They
about
do
it...
make sense. Maybe that's a disadvantage today, I don't know.
When I first heard about it, I was afraid it was one of those things they always seem to experiment with, where they try to film a play on the stage.
No, not dull. I mean,
And
like
it's
the
not-
Philadelphia story. I've done a million of them. Bill of Divorcement,
Right.
Philadelphia story. I've done many, many plays.
But you know what I mean, as if they set a camera out there and
Yes,
tried to
I
film
think
a play.
that can be dull, and I think it
And,
can be static. But these
not that.
have not been done that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be interested. Otherwise, you and I have been wasting a lot of time because we've been sitting here talking. Now, either we're bores, because they can turn us off.
true.
But if we've been interesting, I don't really care whether I'm standing up or sitting down in a scene. If the material is interesting enough for people to look at, I really don't think I have to shoot you dead.
So
Maybe
keep-
I should, though.
Keep them excited.
To have it exciting.
You're
you know,
here now. You don't have
or
to.
take my stuff.
You don't have to do away. What is that? Is that a drug?
Never you mind.
I'll reveal what it is some other
But
night.
they're very, very interesting products. I've worked for Eli through the years, so he and I are old friends. And he's done me a few favors. One of the reasons I felt I should do this, and I don't know why, I couldn't think of any good reason not to appear on television, so now I've appeared on television. I've crossed that bridge. But Eli did something very kind to me, nothing to do with anything, but he did me a real favor, and I thought, how do you pay back a real favor? Pay back a real favor by doing a favor, you know?
We have to take a pause. We will be right back after this pause. Stay with us. I guess I got a kind of kick when you said Jack Barrymore, because it means you really knew him. And if I say Jack Barrymore, it sounds silly. Of course, I never even saw him. He was nice to you.
He was absolutely sweet,
Yeah.
as has been every actor I've ever met in my life.
That's what I wondered about. A young girl coming to Hollywood has to be a threat to the old heads out there, you know. And I wondered if they would really help you, or if they would look like they were helping you but not give you their real secrets, like keep one eye this way, or...
Well,
you know.
I think everybody has brains enough to be aware of the threat, shall we say.
Sure.
You know, and yet people... now, for instance, in Art and Mrs. Bottle, which was by Ben Levy, in which I was fired, and then they looked at every other ingenue in town and came back to me and rehired me, and I made them raise my pay $25 a week
For putting you
because
through
they'd
that.
insulted me, you know, hurt my dignity.
Good for you.
Jane Cowell must have known that the ingenue part was a million times better than the star part. She carried it, and I took it,
Yeah.
you know.
And there was no sabotage, no...
She was an absolute angel. Everybody said she waved her handkerchief, you know, and did a lot of things, like you wiggling that white foot when I'm trying to be fascinating. But she didn't, and she made me up.
Yeah.
Was terribly nice. I didn't used to wear any makeup, and Ben Levy didn't like my looks at all. He thought I was absolutely awful in this part. And he said, my God, what does she do? Polish her face with yellow kitchen soap every morning? And she took me in, and she said he's used to English girls, you know, who present themselves in a softer way. So she tried to soften me up, but I got fired anyway.
We've always heard stories about powerful leading ladies who said, get rid of that new kid. You know,
Never,
she's
never,
gonna-
never.
Never happened to you?
Never, never. Leslie Howard fired me. He said, get rid of that kid fast.
What'd you do to
I
him?
said, well, I didn't do anything to him, but I was an inch taller than he was.
That's unforgivable.
Finally, I took off my shoes and sort of bent my knees, but I didn't know enough to support someone.
Yeah.
You see, I was out for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
And when a big star plays something, they want a little support. Just the way you and I now, we're vying with each other because you have the responsibility of coming back next week. And I'm bound I'm going to snag this week, you see. So it's a question of sort of, mind you, it's your business to present someone.
Sure.
But it's also the business of a group of actors to sort of cater to the central character,
Sure.
as they very charmingly did in Coco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The setup. It's a setup.
Are you telling me that if I'm smart, I'll keep quiet and not move?
No.
Oh, okay. Was Jack Barrymore funny? Was he a funny man to be around?
Well, when I can see I don't stick to the subject, you see, I
Oh,
know embroidery.
Either do I.
When I went out to California, I was on a train, and it took 3 or 4 days to get there in those days. And I went out on the back platform to look at the moon, and I got a steel filing in one eye, which immediately became bright red, and had a piece of filing embedded in the white of the eye. Now, I'm sort of blondie red, so my eyes are very, very sensitive, and they get red if you think red, you know. And I was thinking red all the time. So this eye then went, and when I got off the train, I had a very fancy costume on, the first pancake hat, dead straight hair, 2 bloodshot eyes. And I thought the place was the queerest place I'd ever been in my life, you know. So I went to George Cucor's office, who was directing, George Cukor was directing Bill of Divorcement. And Jack Barrymore came to the office, and he looked at me, and he looked me dead in the eyes, and he said, "Come out here with me, Katharine." So I went out into the hall, and he said, "You did a wonderful test. You're going to be a big star." And then he looked at me, and he took me by the top of the arms, and he said, "I have that trouble, too." And I said, "Mr. Barrymore, I have something in my eye." He said, yes, I know, honey. Just 2 drops of this, and nobody will know a thing."
Did you ever convince him you weren't alive?
Well, I don't know. We never discussed it again.
We have to
but I thought that was terribly funny.
That's nice. We have to take a message, and then we'll be right back. Can you remember a time when you didn't want to be an actress? Or did it hit you over the head at an early age?
Well, I wanted to be a doctor. And I wanted to be a surgeon, because my father was a surgeon.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to school. About 5 years before I went to Bryn Mawr, I tutored, because I liked to play golf. And I would drive all around Hartford to various tutors, and I couldn't pass physics. And in those days, you had Bryn Mawr would accept college boards plus extra points. And I studied. I got about 55 in the physics exam. I was fair in the other things, because my mind was absolutely, I didn't know where I was. You know, I was just flying through the air from the time I was about 12.
But you were having a good time.
Well, I don't know what I was having, but I was having it bad, you know, just a super sort of charge. And I studied all summer long on physics and improved 7 points and got a 62 and was let into Bryn Mawr.
60 was passing.
60 was passing in those days. And then I did my first year, and I was really mediocre, and I had never been with girls before, and I was absolutely petrified. And I can remember I was from a small town, and I had a modest amount of money, and I had really been brought up pretty much with adults. Because we had an interesting family, you know, and we'd sit around. I had an older brother who had died, and then myself. And I used to sit around with the family, and I never spoke. You'd never gather that from the way I'm carrying on now.
You were the
now
quiet
I got
one?
my chance. No, everybody was quiet, because the really interesting people spoke. And I didn't have anything to say that was considered too interesting, you know.
I don't know why I picture the Hepburn dinner table in those days as being debates going on.
Yes, I think there was, but I think there were a hell of a lot of other people there at the same time, you know.
Were you encouraged to argue with your parents?
Yes, I think so, but not idiotically.
On a
you
subject?
See, not idiotically, and I think a lot of the kids today are pompous to a degree because they don't listen at all. Now, I think by the same token, I had the nerve to go out and do something on my own, but you've got to listen. And nobody listens. People are so anxious to talk. I've only got a few more years left to talk in, so I'm doing the best I can. But, I mean, if you start talking at 14, then you can't be listening at 14, can you?
That's right.
I mean, it's a fine line. And anyway, at Bryn Mawr, then in my sophomore year, I had a burst appendix, or a very bad appendix that had to be operated on. And my marks went down. They didn't have to go down far. And Helen Taft Manning, who was the dean, wrote Dad and said, "I would advise you to take Kath out of college. I don't think it suits her." And Daddy wrote back and said if I had a patient in the hospital who was ill and I didn't know what the matter was, I wouldn't send her home. So they kept me.
Yeah. I wondered if you were a good student.
And then, no, bad student, because I was so thrilled with life
Yeah.
that I couldn't concentrate. And I find that now I can concentrate on, certain things that interest me enormously, but I'm totally one track.
Can you concentrate on things you should have concentrated on then? Can you now read a book that seemed boring then? Or can you now study physics with a certain interest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel that way too.
If one can make the connection, you see, then it's enormously vivid to me.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I'm in a sort of a daze, but there's so much, the world's so full of fascination.
Were you campused ever or given demerits? Were you one of those people who didn't like authority?
I was, now what do they call it? Not fired, not expelled, the temporary thing.
Put on probation
yes,
or something like that?
for smoking. And I didn't smoke. So I didn't know the rules about smoking. I wouldn't have thought of smoking. And somebody gave me a package of perfume cigarettes, and I thought, I wonder what these are like. And I sat in there smoking. And somebody came up to me and said, haven't you something to say? I knew what they were talking about.
Your first crime, you were caught.
Not my first crime. That was my second crime.
Oh. Well,
my first crime. My first crime was breaking into houses.
You too? I love to break into houses.
Yes, absolutely fascinated me. I could get in anywhere. The only time I nearly lost my life was dropping through a skylight. And I damn near dropped from the top of the roof, and it was a 3-story house, high, down to the first floor. That was my first mistake.
You didn't know it was there and you stepped
No,
on?
I didn't see it clearly.
Yeah.
But they used to have icebox entrances, for the iceman to put the ice through. That was a very vulnerable point.
How recently was this?
Well, this was when I was a child. It wasn't yesterday. No, well, I was about 15. Yeah. And I had a friend, a girl, and I used to dare do anything with her. She had great nerves. She'd just sort of do things. Yeah. And I'd get excited, and I was the second-story man. I could climb anything, you see, and get in and open the door. But she was the... the sort of head of the mafia. She was she had nerve to burn. She'd do anything. Then she got a beau.
Uh-oh.
And the beau was a bad lot. And the beau, we had a house we couldn't get into. So he joined us and said, well, break down the door. I said, you can't break down the door. That's destruction. He said, you want to get in? Break down the door if you can't get in any other way. Well, we let ourselves be persuaded. Of course, the neighbors next door in a house my sister now lives in heard this terrible noise, and we were using a big log and running against the back door. Insanity. And we finally broke the thing down and went in and took a great big box of body powder with one of those feathered puffs and threw it all around, went mad, and then left, all observed by the cook next door. So when I put on my bathing suit, and nothing was said for a week, and I thought, boy, they haven't found out yet, but it's a mess, so they're going to see it. And all the other places were neat. They were back. I stole one thing in one of the places, and then I put it back because guilt overcame me. And that was a wooden crocodile that was about this long that I saw. We used to use this place as a sort of office because it was easy to get into. Yeah. And it was a carved crocodile, and you screwed up the tail, and it cracked a nut.
Cracked?
And I thought it was thrilling, and I stole it, and then I couldn't think of anything but that foolish crocodile.
Couldn't sleep?
And I took it and put it back. But this boy, you see, it engaged us in a real crime. So finally I saw the sister of the owner of the house coming toward me as I walked down toward the pier for a Sunday swim, and she said, Kathy, haven't you something you'd like to tell me? And I looked at her, and my heart sank. And I said, no, I have nothing to tell you. And I ran out to the end of the pier, and my friend was out on the raft, and I dove in, swam over, and I said, they've caught us. Swim for shore. So then, of course, Dad had to pay the bill.
And that was your first crime?
That was it. That was the first crime that was discovered,
Good.
Yes.
And
I gave up crime.
More or less.
More or less.
We'll get to your later crimes after this message. I'm back talking to Katharine Hepburn, a promising actress who recently had a job with the American Film Theater. I keep thinking about you going alone to Hollywood at what age?
You're trying to pin me down.
Approximately.
Go on.
Between what and
1932.
what? I mean, you were quite a young woman to be cast
Fairly young woman.
into a sinful place like Hollywood. Did you have a protector?
I had a great friend, Laura Harding, who went with me
Yeah.
to seek my fortune.
Did your parents give you any advice, like don't accept rides from strangers or any of that stuff?
No. My family never gave me any of that sort of advice.
They weren't worried about what you might have.
No, they thought if I hadn't brains enough to handle myself, it was just too bad.
Yeah. This may be an impossible kind of question, but I was just wondering why...
I think my mother only just didn't want me to get married and wanted me to, you know, see what I was worth in the world.
She was very active with Margaret Sanger in birth control.
Yes, and also woman suffrage. And Dad was was one of the real starters of the social hygiene movement in America, which was the fight against venereal disease.
Yes.
And no, I think, my goodness, at that age, no, it wouldn't even be a point of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were there to get me out of trouble if I was dumb enough to get into trouble, you know.
But there was no weeping about your going away and...
No. But I mean, they were all I can't stress enough the strength it gives a kid to have someone interested, and the strength it gives me to have someone interested. I've got Phyllis who's interested, and I've got my brothers and sisters, but my mother and father were always there at tea time when I came back, and what did you do? Where did you go? What happened then? But neither of them ever came to Hollywood. They never butted in. It was just there to say, my gosh, you're fascinating, aren't you? Wonderful, you know. Isn't it great what you're doing?
And you always knew you had a bedroom back home if you wanted to come home and...
Yes, and the first week or two that I was in Hollywood, I got all my money in cash, and I put it in a bureau drawer, and I spent it all. And Dad said, where's the money? We'd better put it in the bank. And I said, it's gone. So he said, you better have them send it to me. So until the day he died, he took my money and sent me an allowance.
Is that right? Right up to recent
right up
few
to
years?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he died in 1962.
What were the traps for an actress in those days? Because a lot of people went under and
well, I think they went
tragically.
under. I was a girl I played in a thing called The Warrior's Husband, and I made a big hit.
On Broadway?
Yes. And the play itself was so-so, and it was Bad Times, 32. And I had a lot of movie offers, because I was lucky enough to photograph quite well. And in the big pond that I told you I was kicked out of, my pictures came to New York with the big pond. And I had been playing a leading part so that I was seen by all the New York producers who saw shows and a lot of the heads of the movie companies here who saw shows in Great Neck. And I played it one night, was bounced. But, so I had the attention of a lot of important people.
You mean photographs of you came to New York?
Photographs of me came to New York.
Yeah.
And they were charming. I'll send you some. They were hilarious, but they were okay, you know.
Okay. Before we go on, who was it who referred to your cheekbones as the greatest calcium deposits this side of Dover? Don't tell me I'm telling you that for the first time.
I never heard it.
Well,
I heard Dorothy Parker said, let's go to the Martin Beck Theater. This was in the lake, and see Kate Hepburn run the gamut, G-A-M-U-T-T-T-T-T, of emotion from A to B.
I know. That's
I heard.
One of the great put-downs of all time. How did you have the nerve to go on the next night, or did you ignore that?
I hardly did. That was the most petrifying experience I ever had. Now, that was interesting because I had done 4 pictures in 1 year in Hollywood, and they said, Duza Bernhardt, this wonderful, beautiful young thing who's in our midst, you know, and I could do no wrong. I'd won the Academy Award. Right. And I had sent them a wire through my agent, Leland Haywood, to say that I didn't believe in awards and that I really didn't feel that I should compete. Some pompous, asinine thing, you know. Mm. And he just put the wire in his pocket and said, thank you very much, that I was deeply honored. So there I was. He just changed the wire because he thought it was childish.
You never, let's see, have you ever picked up an Oscar in person?
No. Too gutless.
Won't go?
Well, too gutless.
No.
Just.
You don't scorn the award?
No, afraid I wouldn't win it. It must be that. It couldn't be anything else.
The thought of
or that I have no dress. But I mean,
There are rumors that you have no dress.
well, I have no dress.
But I know you do because I've seen you in
No,
one.
I have no dress, and it's, my father said about his children, he said, my children are very shy. When they go to a party, and this would include that, they're afraid they're going to be neither the bride nor the corpse.
I think you
Now,
should do
you
a
can
book of
figure
your...
that out.
You should
so
do a book of your father's
my
quotes.
father and mother's quotes.
Oh, when we come back, I'm going to bring you back to the traps for a young girl in Hollywood in those days. We have a message and we'll be right back.
No traps for me.
I guess what I was trying to ask there was why you held body and soul together in Hollywood where so many ended up tragically.
Well, I think
And,
I was on a firm foundation.
Yeah.
And you know, what goes in has to come out. Where people, you cannot have it all. You see? I mean, then if you achieve success, you have to maintain it. If you fail, then you have to try to succeed. And you certainly can never be helped by liquor, and you never can be helped by dope. You just can't be. And if you haven't got health, I don't care what profession you're in. I mean, all of us just think of your own profession. And if you're wandering around in a stupor and have 5 minutes where you feel fascinating and you're a bore to the man who's sober, I don't see the point in that, you know? I mean, you have to, here we are, we're given this. Now, here I am, and I've been here quite a long time. You're too young to look at yourself and say, well, the feet have a few more steps in them. One leg's a bit shaky, you know. I keep bumping myself. I don't know what that means. I need glasses now to see. Certain things have maintained themselves. My teeth are pretty good. I can still hear. I can see pretty well. And I still seem to have a wild amount of energy. It shakes the boat a bit once in a while, but I can still go on. Now, I've maintained that machine as well as I could possibly maintain it. And I tried, deliberately this was, in the beginning, I said, don't get spoiled. Don't dress up. Don't get an expensive car. Don't get a lot of fancy habits that you can't maintain if you flop, because the contrast then you're going to have to carry.
You've kept it simple, like your wardrobe.
I kept it, yeah, well, the wardrobe is a self-indulgence, isn't it? That everybody's been smart enough to copy, but nevertheless,
That's right.
a self-indulgence.
Yeah.
Because it is comfortable, and it's nice to be comfortable. I'm clean. Well, I try to be clean.
You look clean.
Well, it's all washable. Washable, wash, drip dry.
You don't smoke?
I don't smoke now. I did smoke.
I remember you smoked
I was a
in
heavy
pictures.
smoker. No, yes, that's what started me being a smoker. I never smoked before. I smoked in one picture, became an absolute chain smoker overnight. Loved it, loved it.
How does that fit in with your health theories?
Well, I was younger then. Maybe I didn't have so many health theories, you see. Then you begin to get health theories when you realize it could go bad. But I had to maintain my vitality. Because I hate the feeling of being kind of doing half as well as I can do. I mean, perfection is thrilling, and you practically never achieve it. I mean, I can look back on my career now and say, well, lucky, 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 pretty good, not bad, you know, moments of real interest.
How'd you quit smoking?
I just stopped.
You set a day?
No, I didn't set any day. I began to realize, in the first place, when I was a kid and smoked, and I started to play tennis in California, and I was a real tennis addict, I noticed that I couldn't really keep it up, you know. And if I didn't smoke at all during the day, I could play 6, 7 hours, and it didn't bother me at all. And we used to play all Sunday. I was a golfer by trade, because I was a trained golfer, and I was pretty good when I was about 14.
Yeah.
But then in California, they didn't allow ladies on the court, on the course on Sunday. And I used to belong to a thing called Bel Air, and I'd go on Sunday anyway and say, throw me off, you know, it's my only free day. So they let me play.
You defied them to throw
I
you off.
defied them, and then I thought, well, this takes too long, so I turned to tennis. And I love tennis.
Yeah.
I think it's a great game. You can just, you know, play yourself into exhaustion.
I've seen you play.
I find this fascinating. Yes, not very good.
You don't know this, but I saw you play. There's a hotel that you play behind.
Yes, that's right.
I won't reveal which
The
one
Bel
it is.
Air. I mean, the Beverly Hills.
That's right.
Yes, for 1,000 years.
I watched you for a long time.
Yeah.
And
I've improved.
well, you were good enough that day, and I came by and I noticed your car was sitting
No,
there.
I'm not good, and I'll tell you how you know when you're good and when you're not good.
You're a little choppy.
A little. No, the terrible thing is, in sports, people will look at me along the street and everything, and oh, you're so fascinating, but they'll look at you on the tennis court for about 2 seconds, and they'll say, oh, she can't play. And they leave.
Right.
It's absolutely fascinating.
And they feel a lot
and
better.
Withering.
They feel a lot better.
But it's a sensational game.
I
But
thought
I
you were
noticed
fine.
that I didn't last then. And then when I began to play Shakespeare, I noticed that I didn't have the what it takes. Oh, I didn't have it. I couldn't last. And if I was taking care of anybody and I had to really last and maybe be up all night and not get any sleep, I noticed that if I took no liquor and no cigarettes, I could get 2 hours sleep and be absolutely wake up fresh and be alive. So I think it smothers you. Now, I
Yeah.
don't think it smothers everybody.
I don't press this, but millions of people are trying to quit and probably would love to know how you did. Did you have the pangs?
I cut it out. I never smoked before breakfast in my life. And I cut it out. First, I cut out the cigarette after breakfast. Then I cut out the cigarette after lunch. Then I cut out until tea time. Then I cut out until after dinner. Then when I was playing a heavy part, I cut out until after the show. But the minute I started, it's like a box of candy. I couldn't stop. I was an absolute dope fiend.
Yeah.
Smoke, 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 smoke. Couldn't stop. Had to go to bed. Couldn't even, I'd look at you and I'd think, oh, bore, I want to smoke. And then I just stopped. I thought, this is so asinine. But it did begin to affect me. Now, I smoked when I was with people, so I did all the difficult parts I cut out. On an interview, I would smoke. I cut that out.
Any place you needed as
Any
a
place that I needed it most, I cut it out.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped.
Let's hope you've helped some people with that. We have a message. We'll be right back. Miss Hepburn, are there secrets of screen acting? We were talking about that earlier. When your niece made a film, for example, are there mysterious little things you can say, like keep your downstage eye away from the camera at all times? Or any of
No,
that?
I don't think so. I think just concentration,
Yeah.
like anything else. Concentration and truth. And Spencer was the great artist at that. His concentration was pure. My concentration was very conscious of an audience for a long, long time.
Did he criticize you on that?
No, he didn't mention it, but I mean, I was aware of a certain sort of cheapness in what I did, because my concentration was not anywhere near as good as his.
By that, do you mean the people
He
around
and
you? the
Lorette
camera?
Taylor, I think, had the greatest. They were remarkable,
Yeah.
both Irish, and a remarkable capacity to concentrate.
I heard an actor who played a scene with Tracy once say it was his first film, this actor's, and he said when the camera started rolling, I went blank because when Tracy spoke, I thought he was still talking to me.
Yes, well, I think that's true of a lot of people.
I didn't know
there
he was
was
acting.
a funny story when Spencer was doing Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and I don't think Sidney Poitier would mind my telling this story, but Sidney and I had already done a scene together, several scenes, and Sidney wasn't in the least nervous, and we were both excited, but not, anything. Then he had to go in and ask for the girl's hand in marriage. And Spencer was sitting at his desk, and I was sitting on a bookcase sort of about as high as this thing in back of him. And Sidney came in, and he was a tremendous fan of Spencer's, as most actors were a tremendous, they really knew that he knew what he was doing, and everybody, you had a lot to learn. I learned a tremendous amount from them, and that is to use the protection of concentration, to just do it, Don't embroider it, do it. Well, Sidney came on, and he looked at Spencer, and Spencer was just looking at him, and he went higher than a kite.
Just from that kind
And then he came on, and he finally did about 15 times, and he could not. Now, he has a brilliant memory, so this was just... So finally, Stanley Kramer said, well, we'll do it tomorrow. So in the morning, I called Spencer, and I said, can I pick you up? And he said, well, you're a bit early, aren't you? And I said, well, it's the first scene. They're going to redo the thing. And he said, I think Sidney would be a little happier without those two old owls looking at him. And I said, well, I think you're wrong. So I said, I'm going down. So I went down, but Spence was usually right about things. So I sent in a note to Stanley Kramer at 9:05 saying, I'm ready and I'm here. Do you wish me to come on the stage or stay in the building? And he wrote back quickly, stay away.
He did.
Oh, yes. So,
Your instinct was
he
it.
got over that
Yeah.
first because they were doing a big head close-up of him.
Yeah.
And I know just how he felt. It's agony. If you work with someone whom you think is the real master at something.
And they're watching you over here.
And the purity of that concentration, because if the material is wonderful, and I learned this playing certain scenes in Shakespeare, that if I could really and truly concentrate, and if I could really speak English, and with truth, mind truth and heart's truth, hand a scene to an audience, that if they were concentrating, they would just take it. And I wasn't doing a lot of fancy stuff, you know. So I think really it's like any other form of art. Truly, to me, the kind of thing that I like is unembroidered and has heart's truth, so that it strikes right through and you say, oh, I understand what you mean, and you can apply it to different, which is why we like the theater, that you can take it from the actors and get something out of it. You can understand it. And the minute you hit, for a long time, I was too egotistical, I suppose, and too frightened to accept the fact that the audience, after all these years, had given me this, they'd given me their friendship, their undiluted, just friendship. We like you. You're nice, you know. And this was occasionally, not until Coco did I really understand. I thought they were my natural enemy and waiting for me to fall down or break my neck or be a flop.
Sure.
And I think that's what we all think. Don't let them trip you up, you know, get there, do it. I don't think that's true. It certainly hasn't been true with me from the time of that little girl.
They've meant well.
They've tried to help me.
Yeah.
They've tried to help me. And they are, now of course, I say I'm like an old ash can. You pass it every day. You're very grateful to it, you know. And they remove it and you say, we didn't want a new ash can. That's perfectly good, that old thing. We'll take that.
That concentration you talked about, though, it seemed that Tracy had it more than almost anybody. I don't think you can find a false moment in his career on the screen.
It was the truth.
Yeah. How did he learn that?
And I think he just did it. I think he found life extremely difficult, as most of the Irish do. You know, they're enormously imaginative. And then he spoke with his heart. Yeah. And he spoke with tremendous simplicity. You know, he played villains. Bogey played Mother's darling with the briefcase and going home to Mama and giving her his salary check. And Spencer played villains.
It's hard to believe that.
Yes, truth, the truth.
It's turned around.
Yes, the picture that he did with Jack Ford. Jack Ford gave Spencer his first job. Jack Ford died on Friday. And
I didn't know that.
Yes, he died. He died after his, he and Bogey just died like gentlemen, you know, with great courage and great distinction. And he was a remarkable man, and he came and he saw Spencer, and Spencer had been tested by everyone and his uncle. So he said, my God, they said, you can't take him. He's a great actor, but his ears stick out, his nose is too big, and you can't photograph him. And Ford said, well, I can look at him. Why can't I photograph him? And they say, well, you put a makeup on him, and he's absolutely hopeless. And they said, well, why put the makeup on?
He had an answer for all this.
So he didn't, Spencer wasn't wearing makeup on the stage. And a man named Chester Erskine, who had produced The Last Mile, which Ford saw Spencer in, didn't have any of the actors wearing makeup. So Spencer never wore makeup.
Sometimes the simplest answer is the best. I see that in you.
And then he said to Larry once, because their method was totally different, and I think Larry Olivier, each one brilliant, and Spencer said to Larry, who do you think they're going to think you are, Larry? You know, and this was really, this was two different theories.
Meaning they'll know you're Olivier.
Well, I mean, they're going to know who you are.
Yeah.
Look out.
Who do you think they'll
had
think
that
you are?
nose, do anything you want to, you know. But it was two brilliant performances. It was the whole range of what an actor can do and be. And you have to find the thing that suits you, I think. And then as an audience, you find the thing that you can connect with.
Mhm.
Well, obviously, you can connect with someone who's familiar to you, can't you? If they're totally different, you really don't.
Yeah.
But if you feel, oh, that might be me, and I think the reason people have an affection for me now is that in a kind of a way, I must have lived a life that a lot of women think would be a nice life to have lived.
Yes.
They think it's dignified, but they think it's free. And they think it's, I've done what I wanted to. They don't bother to think that they may have 5 children that I haven't. I had brains enough to know you can't have it all. Because I was brought up in a very happy family. And I thought, if my concentration is going to be in the theater and is a business career, I cannot have any children because I was brought up where Mother was there, as I said, telling me how wonderful I was.
You didn't want to be an
And
absentee.
I was telling her how wonderful I was, too. It's a different temperament.
Oh, I hope you can stay the rest of the week. We'll be right back after this message. Should I envy people who had brothers and sisters? I always
Yes,
do.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Envy them.
I do. I'm sorry, in a way, that I was...
My brother told me not to appear on this show. He said they'll find out that you're a bore. He said they think you're great. Don't expose yourself.
Well, I'm sorry.
Because he said you really have some awfully silly ideas.
And it's worth it, all that turmoil when you go that you go through as a kid.
And you know what he
competing
calls mom talk?
What?
Excuse me.
with- No.
Somebody said, where does he live? Doesn't he live at Talk Talk? So
Talk Talk?
Talk Talk. I think Talk Talk is a
I'm
wonderful
rather offended by that. But I guess as a kid, I always sort of liked the idea of kids having to compete with their brothers and sisters and being able to compare notes on how you feel about your parents and that sort of stuff. And
Keeps you very realistic.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yes.
Makes you a little tougher, I'd think, than it would if you don't have that. But,
Well,
I
they're
don't know.
apt not to think you're too thrilling.
Yeah.
They're sweet, but I mean...
They cut you down to size?
No, yeah, I think so. I mean, you're one of a group.
Yeah.
You're one of a group, so that you don't go away from that.
Yeah.
You know, you remain the sister. In my instance, I remain the older sister. I remain Aunt Cat to
Aunt
practically
Cat.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was sort of a loner, so I was Aunt Cat. Even to my sisters,
Yeah.
not to my brothers, but to my sisters, who are like my daughters. I'm a missing link. I am. I don't belong anywhere. I'm like my father and mother's, I don't know what, the extra one, you know. But I wasn't a child. It was a funny arrangement.
Are you considered the oddball of the family?
No, they're all much harder than I am.
They're arresting one of them right now. Did you hear that? Terrific. That's one of the things we deal with in this theater. We got the firehouse across the street. Wonderful consideration for the performers. There's only going to be one
What are you
track.
looking at?
I'm just
What?
I'm waiting for the siren to stop.
Oh, is the
Fire-
ambulance
fire
coming for me?
I thought you had
Or
a-
the hearse, I don't know.
I thought you had a
which.
limousine.
So,
You drive yourself. don't you?
yes, I do.
Yeah. I've seen you on the highway.
Well, I'm on the highway, but I love to drive in New York City.
Yeah.
Great place to drive.
It's another challenge.
Well, it is, yes.
Gee, I hate to say this, but we've come to the end of the time we have tonight.
You
And,
mean I'm finished? I can go.
Well, I hate
Thank
to...
you very much. I've had a lovely time. Bye-bye.
But can't you wait till I say goodnight?
No, you say good night. Good night.
I can tell you this. She will be back tomorrow night. Join us. Good night.
The day after Katharine Hepburn appeared on my show, I called her to thank her again, and she was sort of in a state. She wasn't familiar with television, obviously. It was her first time on, and she certainly wasn't familiar with the power and the impact that a talk show particularly can wield. She said she had been out, that people had yelled at her from windows and yelled at her from buses. She said that people bowed to her on the street and thanked her for the best evening of their life. All these things. And she, she said, I guess they were college boys. They started chanting, "Hey, Kate, you were great," and I didn't know what to do. Pardon the imitation. I'm not Martin Short. But the interesting thing was that, in a way, all of this helped her career. That day she was telling me about all the reactions. She said, "You know, really, Dick, she asked if she could call me Dick. Can you imagine? She said, I really think we shouldn't show the second show because you've made me into a goddamn saint." Well, I was glad to do it. Glad to help her career in any way I could. Actually, I did. Later, some relatives said that it created some interest in her that had died in certain places and was hot again. And on the show, by sheer chance, it crossed my mind to say, "Are you sorry you've never worked with Laurence Olivier?" And immediately she came back with, "Well, neither of us is dead yet." The truth of that was borne out when somebody from seeing that put together a movie, which the two of them did. So that's another little contribution I've made to the arts. Well, here is the second Katharine Hepburn show, and we are on October 3rd, 1973, New York City.
Hi, I'm Dick Cavett. I hope you saw last night's show. I was having a conversation with the amazing Katharine Hepburn, and there was just no way to stop at the end of only 90 minutes, and you will see the rest of that conversation tonight. I told last night how this came about. Never having been on television, she agreed to come into the studio one afternoon recently for a test only to check things out, see how it felt. And while we were doing that, she suddenly said, "Let's just go ahead and do it." And startled and delighted and sitting here in my shirt sleeves, I agreed, and we just started talking. And like you, I suspect I have always wanted to have a conversation with Katharine Hepburn, or at least hear one. And I think that one reason she did this, I know, is what she explained last night, her belief in the American Film Theater series. It's a series of remarkable new films which will begin showing around the country on a subscription basis at the end of this month. She stars in one of these, Edward Albee's A Delicate Balance. I think she also did this because she likes to make herself do things that challenge her. We'll be back in a moment with Katharine Hepburn.
Here we are again. What are you laughing?
I'm laughing
What are we
because
doing
I just
here?
looked at my feet and I realized I should have made them up. I hit 'em.
You're the first person who ever came on only half made up or whatever. Your feet are wonderful, if I say so myself. Why is there such a space between your second and third toe?
I don't understand that. That's just been happening lately.
Has that ever been revealed to
Well,
the
I don't know
American
what it is.
public?
I don't inquire. I can still move.
Okay.
Yes. Don't ask about
I'm
anything
sorry,
that happens to you as long as it works as time passes.
Use it, as they
Don't
say.
find out why. Use it.
People always said that you and Tracy are different styles of actor, and yet you work so well together. Supposedly, people whose styles
I've
clash
copied
wouldn't
him,
work.
so I resent that.
Yeah.
Right down. No, I think he's the style.
Well, there's always that mystery. They can never account for the greatness of the two of you because supposedly two different kinds of actors can't work together, but you work
I
like
don't
a
think,
dream.
no, I don't think that's true. I just think he's better than I am. Because he comes, but it's the same method. He is my ideal.
So when you...
I mean, what he does, I would really like to be able to do. And I learned a great deal from him. Now, I took a different a step away from him when I did a lot of the classics, because I go mad when English actors are thought to be better than American actors.
Yeah, I
Because
resent
I think
that, too.
American actors are better than English actors, but I don't think most of us know how to speak English.
I'm glad to
And
hear you
I
say
think they're
that.
one up on us there. but I think we have great, style and power, but I think the language itself, we really have I think if you think of the voices in America, the voices, for instance, when I went to school, when I went to Bryn Mawr, we were taught speech. Yeah. We were made very conscious of how we sounded. My mother and father spoke very well, so that what I heard was pretty good. And if I didn't sound attractive to them, I was criticized by them. Now, and in your very expensive schools, which presumably talking is one of the big things in life, isn't it? Yeah. And now on television, talking is a total necessity. Now, Roosevelt against Wilkie, Roosevelt could talk so much better. He had a charming voice. Look at the power of Winston Churchill's voice. I mean, a great voice. You hear, some people look at me, they'd have no idea who I am, but the minute they hear the voice, so that a voice has tremendous power, and I really think in the schools we should start again. Why should we sound unpleasant and be a joke to the rest of the human race?
Yes, and the English take pride in criticizing us on that, and they have some, of course, great actors, but I don't think they had anybody who could do what Tracy could do.
I don't think they're any better than we are, but I think because they've done the classics, and this is why I did the classics, and Lawrence Langner said to me, Kate, if you don't, you're going to be considered limited. So rather late in life, I thought, well, he's right. Now I'll start to make a fool of myself.
That was a red flag to you, actually.
Well, I think, again, we must proceed. We must develop. We must improve ourselves. You can't just stand still. That's the trouble with a lot of our product, is played down to the lowest common denominator. It's played down to the audience. And the audience doesn't want to be played down to. They'll receive it, they'll laugh. The Americans are an enormously polite people, but they want to be raised up. They've got more money now. They want to improve. A father doesn't want to see his children just, travel along at the same clip that he did if they can improve themselves.
Have you ever gotten really sore at an audience? I remember once at Stratford, someone snapped your picture during a performance with a flashbulb, and you stopped and said, there will be no more of that or we won't go on. And it was one of the most dramatic moments I've ever seen in the theater.
Well, I did that once in Coco, too. I said, now here we have someone who is willing to destroy everyone else's good time in order to have a photograph to take home. So why don't we just stop? We haven't gone very far. We can begin again and let her take as many pictures as she would like. That's why I would have been a great school principal.
Oh, I have a feeling that woman was never seen or heard of again. Could you, suppose you just finished the movie Summertime, let's say, and then you go right into a play, or maybe you went to Shakespeare from that, I don't remember. What do you tone down, or what do you tone up to
I don't
go
think
on the
there's
stage?
any difference.
Really? Well,
None
that
at
answers
all.
that question, because I'm so tired of that old question.
To me there was no difference, and to Spencer there was no difference at all, because it's concentration. But if you and I are speaking, I have a rather loud voice anyway.
That's
yes,
different.
and I'm loud. But I mean, the voice, you would, and then you are aware when an audience is quiet and when you're looking at them. You don't have to pitch a thing up, even in a huge theater. I don't care particularly for the loudspeaker, but I think it's necessary because everybody is so used to hearing it loud now. The music is loud, everything was sort of stepped up,
Yeah, a screen actor will fail in the theater without voice, but other than that, you don't think there's a major difference?
I don't think, no, because I think it's concentration, isn't it?
Yeah. One more thing. Did Tracy ever resent the idea that people would say, well, sure, he's great, but he can't play Richard III, and he can't play Oedipus?
No, I don't think he thought anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought anything about it. It would never have occurred to him to. I think it was, to me, it was a great pity that he didn't do certain of those things, but he did what he wanted to do and what suited him. And I think had he stayed in the theater, he undoubtedly would have done many of those different things. But a lot of the actors at that time, the style was to go to Hollywood and sign a long-term deal. And he needed the money. He had a boy who wasn't too well, and he just needed the money. Yeah. And it suited him. He liked the warm climate. Yeah. I liked the cold climate. And then I was so tormented in the theater, it frightened me so, that I thought, well, I must come back and overcome that. And it took me my whole life. I mean, I even did that in Coco. How I could have been insane enough to do Coco when I couldn't obviously sing at all, you know. I study singing. I still study it. Fascinates me. It's taught me a lot about talking. And a certain about singing I studied with a woman named Sue Seaton, who really, and it's very difficult, the voice, because you see, you wonder, me.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to make a sound when I'm petrified?
Did you ever lose a part to Betty Davis?
Not that I know of. But I mean, I might have.
Do you like her?
Yes, I do. I think she's awfully good. Yeah. But I knew someone was, I played what I wanted to play, by and large. When I ever did a thing because I felt sorry for the studio, because they had to pay me or something, then I was sorry that I'd done it. And one or two things I did because I disliked someone, and I knew that they were going to be offered it if I didn't do it. So I did it, and I was always lousy in it. My reason, I mean, you have to really want to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fundamentally, well, you have to think of every reason why not to do something, and if you can't give yourself a satisfactory answer, then you must just do it, mustn't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you mustn't sit back. You can't just be no, because it's all scary.
Were you among the people considered to play Scarlett O'Hara?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes. The book was sent to me first by the publishers. And I gave it to someone who was the head of RKO. All these people will have to be nameless, to read. And he gave it to his chief sort of staff. And they read it and said, it's not a sympathetic part for Kate. And then when David bought it, it was going to be directed by my great friend George Cukor, who again thought that it was wrong for me. Then after they'd looked for 2 years, George thought it was right for me. And it was at this point that my career had done the most dismal failure. And I had gone from offers of $150,000 and a percentage and a piece of everything down to $10,000 for a picture, or no offers at all. In 6 weeks, my career dropped that far, just before I did the Philadelphia story. Well, you probably weren't born.
I never think of you.
Yes.
Maybe
Being
that
a failure, well, I've had my share. And so David Selznick sent for me. And he said, we'd like to have you do a test. I said, now, David, I said, you brought me into the business, you and George, and I'm not going to do a test. You know how I'd play it. And you've gone out on a limb to find an unknown girl. And you can't tell me you're going to be stupid enough not to find one. So we'll have this, well, let us say this, that if you get within 2 days of shooting, and the man who's doing the costumes has dressed me many times, Walter Plunkett. He could do the first dress in 48 hours. You send for me. He said, I have to begin the picture by a certain time. You send for me. And of course, because I said, you wouldn't have to pay me anything. And I know you well enough to know you wouldn't pay me anything. And you just pay me off. It would be very cheap. And that would break my heart, and I have to protect myself from incidents which would destroy me. And I don't want to have it announced, you see, and then sort of whatever happened to Katharine Hepburn, you know, when they found Vivian.
When you see that film now, do you have pangs?
No, I haven't seen it since. I never have pangs about anything.
Once it's over,
Not
that's it.
my nature.
Yeah.
No pang.
No regrets.
No pang. Well, I mean, no pang. Pang is a waste of time.
If they said, Miss Hepburn, we need celluloid, and we're going to have to melt down all the films you've made except one, could you pick one?
Oh, I'd say melt them all down.
Okay. Good answer. We have a message, and we'll be right back. How do you decide if they're asking you to do something too dangerous or not? I know there are actors who take pride in the fact that they fell down those stairs or they fell off that horse.
Yes, actors are sweet and silly.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them.
Have you ever had a debate with yourself where you thought, oh, hell...
No, I learned to ride side saddle for Jack Ford. And Mary of Scotland. And rode at a full run under the limb of the tree and heard Jack's voice way in the distance say, Kate, duck! And I ducked, otherwise I would have been as dead as a doornail. And then I fell into the canal for David Lane.
Summertime.
I'd walk backward in summertime and fall into a canal.
Yeah.
And, of course, the canal is a sewer.
I can't
And,
believe that.
Well, this is
I
how
know what's
stupid
in those
I am.
sewers,
Yes,
in
just
those
stupid.
canals. Yeah.
Stupid
What
of
they
me.
politely call raw sewage.
And I used to go around, because I hate to wear clothes. You know, I'd wear my old rags, and then I'd put the makeup on in the street, and leave my hair in curlers and have a sombrero on or something, so that I could get dressed and made up. I made up 5 minutes, you know, dressed 5 minutes, so that then I didn't have to sit and get exhausted. And what I did was, I would go around the community and knock on the door and say, I beg your pardon, could I change my clothes in your front hall? And practically always they would say yes, and sometimes they'd give me a room and bath. So when I knew I was going to have to fall into the canal, I cased the joint very carefully, you see, well trained in my youth.
Of course.
To know a good house from a bad one. And
All those years as a cat burglar.
Yes, all those years. And so a woman had a tub waiting, everything. And I thought, well, now I can't catch any disease. So the audience was told very carefully, Miss Hepburn is doing this on purpose. She's an expert swimmer, and so forth. So I backed up just as if I were backing up off this stage. Well, then I saw the movie. My feet went up in the air.
Yeah.
My mouth opened wide, my eyes opened wide, and I never thought of my eyes.
Ooh.
I brushed my teeth, I washed my mouth, I did all the things that one would imagine, and I never thought of my eyes, and I've had the eye infection ever since.
You've never been
Never
able
got
to
over
shake
it.
the infection?
You never
think?
can. You never can.
And wasn't anybody advising you you were silly to do this?
No. Oh, no. They'd never advise you that you're silly, because then they have to hire somebody to do it for
It'll
you.
look better.
And it doesn't look like anything. I mean, then you can't really do the scene.
I had heard
That's
that...
one of the hazards of the business, I think.
I've seen that film several times. The first time I saw it, I sat through it again. And I
He's
thought...
a brilliant man, David Lean.
David Lean may be my favorite.
Oh, he's brilliant. Nobody in the world like him. Brilliant man.
You
He
ever-
knows more about film, he really, but they're 100% concentration, you know.
Yeah. Are you the kind that ever storm off the set furious?
No, I stay there and fight it out.
Do you like that kind of behavior on the part of the...
I don't storm off.
Has anybody
Because
ever...
the man who goes off is lost.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he keeps walking. And you can't keep walking if you're in it.
Anybody ever walk out on you in a
So
scene?
you have to end. No. I've found people amazingly amiable. People are nervous, you know. I think most actors are absolute angels. I think all the sort of bad behavior comes from terror. I think now, I mean, I was brought up in a school where once you said you'd do it, you did it. You know, now I think this is too bad. And once you say you're going to be an actor, then presumably if you're going to do the thing 8 times a week or whatever you're supposed to do, you really have to, it's a prison sentence. Because you got to play if you're sick. Because if you don't play and you are a big star, it's an enormous disappointment to the audience.
Yeah.
And I was brought up to play. I played for a month and a half with pneumonia on tour in Much Ado, and couldn't get rid of it. I'd have a temperature of about 102 or 3 every time I started. Now, I'm tough,
Yes.
and I have a very strong constitution, and I'm perfectly willing to do nothing but the one thing. You see, most people won't settle for that.
How do you mean that?
Well, I mean, most people think they can lead 2 or 3 lives. I don't think you can. I think at least I can't. It takes enough out of me so that I can't do anything else.
Did you ever want to chuck it all? Even on those nights when you were so sick with pneumonia and you had to go on stage? Just
Oh,
think,
yes.
It's got to
Oh,
be
sure.
an easier way to
Oh,
make a
sure.
living.
Oh, sure. But I think that goes, that is discipline, and I think that without discipline, there's no way to live. I mean, there's one person you can correct in life, this I've learned, and that's yourself. I can't worry about your character, but I can improve my own character.
You're not the kind, then, to say, Jack Barrymore, you're drinking yourself to
No,
death.
no.
Why don't you
no,
knock it off?
No.
You're not
Not
gonna do that.
unless I could really be of some help. If I could help him, and I felt that I wished to, then I would dedicate myself to that. That's an all-time job. To take care of somebody is an all-time job. To bring up a bunch of kids and try to make them, it's an all-time job. So what are the poor women going to do? You see, they're not the men. It's an all-time job for the man to make the living. Now, I certainly think that their job opportunities ought to be equal. No question about that. I can't see the difference between any of us. Can you?
Can you imagine?
I can't see the difference between any race, any color, any sex. But I do think that the women, as opposed to the men, are in a spot because they have the children and they have much more real interest in them than the men do.
By nature?
In a few instances, I think by nature.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got it by nature, and I haven't got it by nature at all, then don't have them.
Yeah.
You know, do what you're going to do. Then do it. Don't do them both, because you just get split in half.
But there must
You
have
can
been...
give, you see, a woman can give a man enormous confidence, and we all lack it. Or a man can give a woman enormous confidence and stay at home and do the cooking. Somebody's got to give somebody some confidence somewhere. There is not just one way to kill a cat. There are many ways that are open, but you can't have it all. You cannot have it all. And this notion that you can have it all, you can't have it all.
But to be able to realize that at an early age is a pretty good
No,
trick.
I don't think so, unless you're stupid. You open your eyes, you know. I mean, I realized that at an early age.
But the
And
parent-
I settled, I knew absolutely, I thought, here's my mother. She did a lot, but she had 5 in help in the house. Nobody has any help now. The women are really up against it.
Your mother had how many children?
She had 6.
And yet she was very interested
Well,
in
she
birth
did a lot
control.
of talking on birth control, a lot of talking on women's suffrage. And when she started out, she said she could remember wheeling Tom and me in a baby carriage and thinking, well, here I am. I've got a BA and an MA degree. I'm supposed to be intelligent. And here I am. Am I a nursemaid to the rising generation? Now, Dad, who was a pretty smart guy, felt this discontent. And he said, you know, there's a woman named Pankhurst talking in town. Well, Pankhurst was the name of the great English suffragette who was speaking here.
Was it Sylvia or something?
Sylvia Emmeline Pankhurst was the great one. Sylvia Pankhurst, I think, was the sister, the daughter. I'm not sure. I think Sylvia Pankhurst. Can't tell you.
Anyway.
Can't tell you. One was Sylvia and one was Emmeline. And she used to visit us when I was a kid. And the mother then made these speeches, but she was there, and Daddy was there at tea time. He didn't become a victim of being a surgeon, you know. He was there, and they were there. And I suppose it's why I never went out to dinner. You know, we led very home life, very strong. And that house has just gone out of, I gave it to the family, gave it to the University of Hartford just 2 years ago.
People whose lives went to hell in Hollywood, like Jean Harlow and all, did they in all cases have no home life?
I don't know. I mean, why somebody's life goes to hell, one doesn't know, does one?
I guess
I mean,
not. It'd
if
be
you're
nice to
awfully
know.
wise, I had every possible advantage, and if my life had gone to hell, I would have had to be a dithering idiot. You know, really.
To have blown it.
Because I had every advantage. And I had money enough also to be able to say no. I didn't have anywhere near as much money as people think, but I had money enough to be able to say no. And I was smart enough here to get one of the first contracts which had a theater clause in it. And since my first pictures were a great hit, the theater clause was an absolute whip hand, and I could get whatever I wanted.
What is theater clause?
Theater clause was to come back and do a play.
Oh,
And
you
that
could
was
leave.
unknown in those days.
Yeah.
And
And you fought that
was
out
very
and got it.
important. And I said I won't do it unless I get $1,500 a week. I was getting 50 at the time. And they offered me everything. David Selznick did. Right up, you know, $550, $750, $1,000, $1,250. And I said, no, thank you. Because I thought, they got to know that you mean what you say. So
Yeah.
don't argue. Take it or leave it. Do it. Now, that took a lot of nerve. And I called up Dad and Mother, and I said, well, they've come up to $1,250, and I'm going to turn it down. And Dad said, that's right. And then for a lot of the time, I handled my own business. And when you handle your own business and don't have an agent, that's the way you have to do.
Gee. That's great.
Sort of yes or
Yeah.
no. But I think that's true of a lot of other things, because I think life is thrilling in every possible direction. But I know that I can't have it all. I
Yep.
cannot have it all. I haven't had it all. I've had a wonderful life, a wonderful time, but I haven't had everything.
I'm going through that now at my age. I'm thinking there's so many careers I'm not going to have, so many things I'm not going to read, so many things places I'm never going to see, and it sort of paralyzes you.
Oh, no, no, no. Then do what you do. Just do it the best you can. That's what's important. And if it doesn't interest you enough and you have enough money, stop and do something else.
What can you say to comfort the people who didn't make it? You know the old B-movie scene of usually a British actress is making up for a great star, and a ragged old lady comes in and says, "You don't remember me, but I used to be in this chair, and I had this dressing room, but I didn't go over, and you've got it all." You know those old, that scene's probably
I
been in
don't think that
100
ever happens. I never.
maybe only in the movies. But you know, there are people who must wonder, why the hell did Hepburn make it and I didn't? I mean, look,
Well, that's a great question.
I'm
Why
her
the hell
size,
did
I'm
I?
her.
And better looking, and can sing.
But it isn't all luck. People
A
take
lot of
comfort
it's
in that.
luck. A lot of it is luck.
Yeah.
You see, I've survived a long, long time. If you have the right kind of looks, your right kind of voice, you kind of stand for something just a little bit new, and then you survive, and you change. You see, most people, I figure, have a reservoir that you walk into town with your little box of goodies, you know, and this is me, and this is what I have to offer. Then, after a while, you've sold all those goodies, and if you don't go away and fill up another box, you're just repeating. Then you're just growing old, and then for, you know, certain people, there's a time when you're switching from, you're too old to do this, and you're too young to do that, and you have to figure out, what are you, and what really interests you. You see, we're all creatures of habit, and we get in a rut, and we run down that rut happy as bugs. Well, sometimes you're bloody sick of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you haven't got the brains to stop. You know? And you could change. That's why, really about this thing, I thought, can you think of any really good reason not to do it? Except that, oh, I'm so shy, or oh, my private life, or oh, are they going to find out how boring I am? You know? And that is the only reason now, in a sense, not to do television. Because it certainly is a method of expression,
It certainly is.
which, you know, has to be accepted as these things come along.
How do you feel about having your political views known? Someone with your strength, you must be constantly asked
I'm
to
not
come
much
out
of
and-
a politician. I always
Let's
just
say-
say be on the affirmative and liberal side. And on the
Affirmative
new
and-
side, yes.
And
Yes,
liberal
don't
side.
be a no person.
Yeah.
And yet have horse sense. My family were very, very left of center. But
Is it-
I was always quoting them. I'm not a great political expert myself.
Did you suffer from that in your community?
Yes, very much
Did you?
so. That very snubbed. That's why I got the old chip on the shoulder and forged ahead, you know, because I thought I'll show them.
And you
I
did.
think so. I think it's a great help.
And you did.
To be loved is very demoralizing.
Could you have been happy? Oh, yeah, I'm going to want to stop and think about that. Could you be happy in a repertory company had you played every part you wanted and never made a movie? I guess what I'm asking is the fame important that comes from being an international film star? How important is that fame? Which
I don't think you can answer that. You never, if you have fame, you never feel that you have fame if you have the brains of a flea.
Better
Because
not to think
fame
about it.
is something that's over back of you.
Yeah.
It ain't ahead.
Yeah, good.
Not ahead at all. And I mean, if you've done it, that's great, but what are you going to do tomorrow? Is the only thing that matters.
Yeah. We must take a message today. Miss Hepburn, could you have happily married Humphrey Bogart?
It never occurred to me.
I don't
I did. Well, didn't I marry him
You
in the
did.
African Queen?
That's right. Every time I
Yeah.
see that, I think, I wonder if they could have been happy together. Was he a funny man to be around, lighthearted, serious?
He was serious. He was enormously fair. He was very much of a gent, very well born, frightfully good manners.
Not a tough guy.
Not at all. The exact opposite.
And people
The exact
constantly-
opposite. But he was one of the few actors, he really liked his profession. He really enjoyed winning the Academy Award. He really was proud of being an actor. He was doing what he wanted to do, and I've asked this. Betty McCall is a good friend of mine, and I think he was well trained. He was proud of it. This is not true of all actors. I think Spencer would have liked to have been something else.
I swear that I read somewhere once that Mr. Tracy said, this is an odd, rather uncomfortable profession for a man.
I think he thought so, and I think Bogey was not at all. Bogey was very secure within himself. Bogey drank a lot, but I think he just liked to drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was an escape or anything else. And he was on that trip to Africa. Betty was with him, and I was alone. He'd say, "Are you comfortable? You feel all right? You happy? Hotel all right?" And I'd say, "Yes."
Did you get down in real African rivers and waters and
Yes,
take chances on getting bitten by various things?
Well, we weren't in the water because there's a disease called Bell's hearts here, so that you cannot get wet. It's a terrible sort of inflammation of the kidneys or something like that.
That you can catch from that?
Yes, that you can catch. That's why Edwina Booth died. You know, she did a picture 1,000 years ago, and she caught that very bad disease. They just said to me, keep out of them. Don't, if you get your feet wet, dry them and powder them. Just this bug apparently enters any body opening pores, anything.
When you were fixing the boat and all of that stuff, then that was in a studio?
A lot of that was in the studio.
In a tank?
Yes,
Yeah.
but not practically all of it we did down there. I suppose, you know, the boat got wet on the inside. And John Huston, who was doing it, didn't know a hell of a lot about river traffic, you know, and the current would take us careening down. And when we were going on a raft, you know, in mock-ups of a part of the boat, why we'd get swept way over to one side, and everybody would say duck, and we'd lie flat. Otherwise, we would have been scraped right into the crocodile pit or something.
You were
so it was,
heavily insured, I assume.
I had no idea. But everybody was sick.
Didn't those leeches...
Everybody, the big joke was on me because I was rather self-righteous, and I thought, well, I'm traveling with two drunks. I better not drink anything. So I drank lots of the water, lots of the water.
Everything you're not supposed to do?
John never got sick. Houston never got sick. Bogey never got sick. And I nearly died of the dysentery because the water was poison. Shows how sensible they were.
You and your health measures. Weren't those leeches...
That was really funny. One episode there, I'm always, you know, busy getting to know people in a community that I know I'm never going to be in again. Yeah. So I made an arrangement. I used to walk to work, and that first shot in the church, John looked at the church, and it was they were Methodists, and they don't have steeples. And he said, well, I want a steeple, because he'd panned down. So Methodist or no Methodist, he waited while they built a steeple. In the meantime, I got to know a lot of people in the community, and they have wonderful hard wood there. So I went to a lumber place, and I got a lot of samples of wood, because my family were interested in wood, to take back, you know. And the man said, wouldn't you like to see a tree felled? I said, I certainly would. So we made a date. By this time, the picture has started. My dysentery has also begun. And I'm playing the organ, and they broke the record, and the only thing I knew how to play was Lead Kindly Light. So I was playing Lead Kindly Light, and their sense of what is a note is different than ours, so that it was total discord. They'd found two black mambas in the ladies' john, and so I couldn't go in there. Snakes. And the time of my watching the tree felled, which was 4 o'clock, because we lost the sun by then, was coming up. And finally I said to John, I have to go home. And now I said, I have a date which I have to keep. Will you keep it for me? And he said, Kate, we'll keep your date. We'll go and see them cut the tree down. And I said, be enthusiastic about it, because the man and say that I'm dying. So they all went to see the tree cut down. They drove out into the forest in jeeps. Got there. The tree was half sawed through. A terrible lightning storm came up, hit the tree. The tree nearly fell on all of them instead of being pulled the other direction. They got soaked. They came home, and I was lying, dying, you know, of the dysentery, with my little black man watching me and being sure that I was going to leave this earth. And they all came in drunk. They went to the man's house who owned this lumber place, drank all his liquor, took all his clothes, and came home in dry ones and waked me up.
They kept the date, nearly got killed, and you stayed home.
Yes, even Bogey behaved badly then.
How would you have explained that to their
I don't
survivors?
know.
1 second. Were those real leeches on Bogart?
No, no leech would. I said to Bogey, surely you're a man, you're this great strong man, just take a leech and put it on you.
Yeah.
They were repulsive looking. So he said, not me, I'm not going to put any leech. Well, you know, Bogey was pretty skinny. So everybody was making things and sticking them on Bogey, and they just fall off. He was so bony, every move, nothing would stick to him. Finally, they got something that stuck, but it wasn't a real leech.
See, they looked like leeches, and they've occurred in my
Yes,
dreams many
yes.
times since seeing that film. We'll be right back.
I'm talking with Katharine Hepburn, a lady you can also see in American film theaters' A Delicate Balance by Edward Albee.
Is there a kind of actor you can't work with? You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean, Mr. Cavett. What do you mean?
I meant, well, there was a time when there were people who were saying, oh, all those method people, I would never act with them, and that sort of
Well,
thing. Or there were people who say, I'd never act with Brando, you know, and yet, see, I don't think of Brando as a limited actor, but...
I don't think he is a limited actor. He's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Maybe a slightly limited person, but I don't think he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah. Did that offend you when an Oscar was turned down for a social
I just thought it was
purpose?
silly. Why not withdraw your name?
Mm-hmm.
Just withdraw your name and nobody'd vote for you. Just dumb.
Well, maybe the idea came after he'd been...
Oh, no, then that's foolish. Then you see whether you're nominated or withdraw. It doesn't make any sense. It's just silly.
You would have preferred what George C. Scott did. You said, take
No,
me
I
out
think
of
he
it,
was,
or-
well, he said it before he played the part, you know. He should have, you're either in a business or you're not in a business, and don't complicate it, and you're not that important. Nobody is. It's just foolish. I think I should go and pick him up. I should have gone and pick him up, but I really just didn't. But I don't admire myself for it. I'm not that stupid.
And you said, besides
And a
that,
big moral stand if I'm not in the running for a prize. Oh, well.
well, what would you have said if we weren't on television?
No, I wouldn't have said it.
That's something that, oh, Joseph Cotton is in Delicate Balance
Yes,
with you, and
and
people
a
are going
lovely performance. He's absolutely wonderful.
I thought maybe he had quit acting.
No,
I
no,
haven't
no,
seen that
no.
much, and,
No, he never did act. He always just does it.
I saw you.
And he's great.
Yeah.
He's great. He gives a wonderful performance. True as true.
I saw you the other night in Philadelphia Story. Do you get plagued with questions of like, for example, when you get pushed in the face by Cary Grant, you go flat on your back. Did you hurt yourself? What'd you hit?
Broke my back. Been broken ever since.
Are you kidding?
I don't even remember it.
Don't you know that scene where you come out with the golf clubs and you throw them down and smash them down?
That's
and-
right at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, and he comes back and he just pushes you in the face and you fall like a tree. Just wham. Didn't you hurt yourself? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I'm a pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me. I don't even remember
You
it.
don't remember it.
No, I don't remember it.
It's a wonderful movie. Have you ever
It
seen it?
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I saw it.
Yeah. So you don't remember that
Some
fall?
of them I don't see.
Maybe
No,
you
I don't remember
hit
that
your head
fall.
so hard that you've forgotten it.
No, no, I don't think so. I just,
Are you sorry you never acted with Olivier?
well, neither of us is dead yet. Even though you may think so.
Wait a minute. Wait, now.
I speak for Larry as well as for myself.
I'm terribly.
That's all right. Don't blush.
let me retake.
You'll be as red as I am in a minute.
Are
Mr.
are
Cavett.
you? Oh, how could you? Are you sorry that you have never yet acted with Olivier? Yet? No, I don't know why I did that. Of course not.
Well, you thought it.
You've still got a
when
few
you
good
said it.
laps left in you, as you said earlier.
A few good laps or
you can still get
laps.
around the track.
Oh, thank you very much. You're very encouraging, Mr. Cavett.
Well,
I appreciate that.
as long as we're on the subject of time and mortality, I've never heard a film actor say, the reason I make movies is that people will see me 100 years from now.
Oh.
And it seems to me that would be
Oh,
one
no,
of the
I
great...
don't mind at all whether they remember me 1 minute. It's a great business. The greatest there is. Thrilling. I don't know why they pay you. It's fascinating. Fascinating.
It's great to hear you say that.
Oh, yes. You get to travel. You get to do fascinating things. You get to do some pretty boring ones at times,
Yeah.
but most of those you can rise above.
But the immortality idea of film being there...
That is of no interest to me whatsoever.
In the year 2050
no,
and all.
No, and I can't imagine anybody being dumb enough to be interested.
Yeah.
I think the world goes on, you know, and I think that everything becomes different.
Is there any chance, I suppose, that when we look at a movie that was made now 40 years ago, they look silly. Is there any
Bill of
chance that
Divorcement. Now,
today's...
just a minute. I'm 40 years ago.
50.
Yes, you'd have to go up.
If
They don't look silly to me. And Lillian Gish, Mary Pickford, a lot of those pictures, a lot of the comedies.
I didn't realize that 40 years ago was that recent then. I meant to say when you
It's
look
1973, and I started in 1932. That's 41 years ago.
Wow.
That gets in everything, and some of them were dull, and some of them were interesting. And I think that's true of, you look at it maybe with a different point of view. You look at silent pictures with a different point of view, because they are different. But some of them are thrilling, I think.
Well,
I think it's a great medium.
Let me sharpen my point, as they say. There is film of Duza, for example, but they say it looks ludicrous, or is it of Bernhardt? But that was in the early
Who
days
does
of
it
film,
look
but
ludicrous to? It might not look ludicrous to me.
That's interesting. You might see something.
Well, I would see her, and I would see, I mean, you're stupid if you're influenced by a costume, or you're influenced by the fact that the mechanics of the thing weren't as well thought out then. Now we're very well protected. I hope.
Yeah. But I guess there is... I was just wondering, is there any way that a film like Summertime or African Queen would ever look dated? I can't imagine that it would. I can't see that it would, because it just seems timeless, and it seems right, and it doesn't...
Well, I think yes, and I think the type of story that we did then is different. I mean, we were doing sort of hero stories, weren't we, and heroine stories. That wasn't exactly heroine, but it was the story of a woman. Yeah. Now we're doing the deeply troubled sex life of most of us, and I find this a bit dull.
Yeah. Are there films you won't go to because you know...
No, I have no sense of virtue, but I'm just sick of whether somebody's impotent, or whether, you know, I should think he would be impotent, considering the life he's led. I think it's reasonable to think that at 40, he's impotent and has a problem. And I can't feel that his problem is terribly interesting to me, you know.
Yes.
I'm sure it's very interesting to him.
If not obsessive.
Well, he's been obsessed with the subject, so he's died out.
Yeah. Well, let me go back a minute for one thing. Were there colonies in Hollywood when you went out there? I know there was an English colony, and then I've heard that there was a Russian colony.
I don't know anything about it. I never went out.
You didn't join in?
Never went out anywhere, ever, except to George Cukor's house.
I'm not sure that isn't why you survived.
No, that's not true. I think Hollywood was a wonderful place, so don't try to lure me into, knocking it. No, because it doesn't make any difference where it's done. It was a brilliant group of people, and they led a fascinating life, and they were dumb enough to turn down television. So another group took the ball and ran in a certain direction, and the world changed.
But suppose someone had said to you, oh, come on, Kate, you got to loosen up now. I know you got to work tomorrow, but let's go out and get drunk and sniff a little cocaine, and that's what everybody's doing.
I don't believe everybody's doing that in the first place, and certainly I wouldn't do it, because I like to feel good and healthy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a boa.
Was there
And I've got plenty of energy without it.
Yeah.
Cold sober, I find myself absolutely fascinating.
You realize that an audience has trickled in here since we've started talking.
Off the street.
Yeah, we're drawing them off the street. Well, but you've destroyed a lot of myths for me tonight. There weren't lecherous old goats waiting for the fresh young girl.
I've never had a man make a pass at me in my whole life.
Oh.
Unless he was drunk.
Oh.
Then he would have thought better of it the next time, and I helped him home and departed.
I cannot believe
Never
that.
had a man make a pass at me.
But what about all those nasty producers who said, well, come in, young lady?
No, never, ever. Never, ever. Nonsense.
I don't know why I say I can't believe that. Let me change that to I can believe that, because not only because it implies that you're
Now that
a
you've
liar,
met me.
but that...
You can believe that nobody would make a pass
No,
at
but
me.
there's...
Well, I know what you mean.
you do trap a man in things he said.
Maybe that was my trouble.
You know, maybe that's it. Yes. Yeah, you just blew your chances with me. I always heard that there were all those guys who chased the ladies around, and that was one of the things you had to brace yourself for when you got out there.
No,
say,
that's
by
nonsense.
God, you get over in your corner of the room, and I'll stay in mine, and let's
Well,
talk
they're
about this
safe today
strip
because
buster.
nobody chases the ladies around, so
Yeah.
if you get what I mean.
I do. What's
What's happened?
Do you have a
I
theory
don't know.
about
Yes, we're overpopulated.
what makes people
Has to be straightened out.
turn out the way they do, that way?
Overpopulation. The men get feminine and the women get masculine.
And it has to do with the sheer numbers of people because they don't get enough
I would think
attention
so.
from their parents, possibly?
I would think so.
Or the
Oh,
wrong...
no. I think the population problem.
They always blame that on women, you know. If a young man has an overprotective mother, that's the
Everything is
cliche.
blamed on women anyway.
Yeah. So,
But they're trying to put that right.
yeah. And you hope they do.
I think they will.
Yeah. We have to take a pause. We will be right back after this pause. Stay with us. I feel I have to ask this. Everybody says that Garbo had something that no one ever had before or since. I'm willing to believe that this is not true.
No, this is true.
Is it?
Yes, I think so. She had a real mystique and a real gift for movie acting.
And what is it? If I were in the room with her and their camera were there and she were here and I could see her on the set of Camille, would I see that in that room?
Yes, I think you would.
Yeah.
I think she was mysterious, is mysterious.
Have you met?
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
She's charming and sweet and nice and funny, but she certainly photographically had something that nobody else had. I think that's what made her. You don't become that famous for no reason.
Do you get the feeling that she got pleasure from her career, though? She seems not to.
Yes, I think she did. I think everybody has a different way of living, you know. They have to some people have happy natures, I have a happy nature, so I have a good time, you know.
You do?
Yes, I do.
You ride, you play tennis,
Yeah.
play golf,
Yeah.
swim.
Yeah,
I know you're a ferocious
bicycle.
swimmer.
Yeah,
You cook.
yeah.
If I tell you...
I work.
And you work.
And I work. I clean the house and wash the dishes and do what everybody else does today.
You know how to clean a sink and all of those things.
And I enjoy it enormously. You know, but I have I'm a compulsive overworker. It's a let-off to me, so I enjoy that.
They say, someone said once we have no way of knowing if Garbo ever read a book. Have you read a book?
Yes, I've read a few.
Yeah.
I can read.
Yeah. Are you, are you a compulsive reader?
Am I a compulsive all the time reader?
Yeah, I doubt if I've read anything on the current bestseller list, for example, and I just wonder if...
No, I'm a funny reader. I'd like to read about people. I wouldn't say I was a brilliant creature, but I'm interested in people. But I'm physically a very active person. I get rid of a lot of energy that way. That's why I don't have to take the stuff very often, or the stuff. You know, because I have a lot of vitality.
Yes. Do you mind if I reveal that there's no actual illicit drug over there at all, but merely something that keeps the lips from
Chat
dry?
lips.
Yeah. I didn't want the audience to worry. But
I don't
suppose
think they would.
when you were doing Lion in Winter, for example, would you read historical biographies of the character you played?
Yes, I would.
Anything
I
such
read
a-
everything about her that I possibly could read, because I thought she was a fascinating character, and I thought he was, and I thought it was a wonderful relationship, and I enjoyed doing that picture very, very much. I hadn't worked for a number of years then. I hadn't worked for 7 years, and I really enjoyed doing that picture with Peter. He's a wonderful actor.
Yes, he said
Wonderful
he would do
actor.
anything for you. He was here
Oh,
one
we
night.
just got on great. I hit him right in the jaw once. Right in the jaw.
What had he done
As
to you?
hard as I could hit. We were sharing a makeup man. And he wasn't working, and I was working, and I sent for the makeup man. They said he's with Mr. O'Toole. He happened to be O'Toole's makeup man. So I just I was way down the basement of the monastery at Montmajour in Provence. And finally I sent for him again, and he didn't come. So I walked upstairs, and I got hysterical as I saw myself in a rage walking along. I lost my rage, and I opened the door of his dressing room. And there he sat, and he turned around, and I biffed him. You want me to show you?
Sure.
Right now.
We're near the end.
I biffed him that way, and then I biffed him that way, and I said, the next time I send for the makeup man, send him. So I went back, roaring with laughter. I really socked him. He was dumbfounded. Did him a lot of good. I think does everybody good to be hit.
You think it improved?
So I got down, and in no time at all, Peter came down with crutches, his leg all bound up, his head all bound up in bandages, came onto the set.
Make you feel
terribly
guilty.
Funny to make me feel guilty.
And then you caused an accident with your niece the other day. You're sort of a dangerous person to know in some ways.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I'm over-enthusiastic.
Yes. Do you mind if I mention that your niece was riding a horse and you applauded?
Scared the horse, and she shot up into the air, turned a somersault, and fell on her back. She was all right, though.
Yeah.
She didn't mind, and it made her the center of... She could show how well she behaved, not a tear.
We'll be back after this message with Katharine Hepburn. Stay with us. I'm back talking to Katharine Hepburn, a promising actress who recently had a job with the American Film Theater. There's a legend about you that you can sleep when other people can't.
Yes.
What is the secret of that?
Clear conscience.
Well, for those of us for whom it's too late for that, what do you recommend? You know, people who watch this show, particularly who watch watch late night television,
Are desperate.
I can't. Well, yeah, many times, and you're getting me for that thing I said earlier. But many times, it's not the last thing they watch at night. They stay up and they say, "If you, God, please get a man on who would tell us how to sleep." And I've had a sleep expert on, but is there a secret? Do you lie in the same position? I always thought that would help. Lie on your back.
I just think I'm an old bore, and I just go to sleep. I lie down, I go to sleep. I do what I'm supposed to. I come on the program, I talk. I'm supposed to talk, I talk. I go to bed, I sleep. I have some food, I eat it. It doesn't seem fair. I'm uncomplicated.
You're uncomplicated.
Yes.
You can see that.
Rather stupid, I would think. Probably.
I guess you're not a joiner, obviously, and you avoided those cults and groups out in Hollywood. And then in New York in the 30s, there was that legendary group of wits, you know, Benchley and Thurber.
Yes, they were just a little bit older than I am. I was their victim.
You were a target rather
Yes,
than
I was a target, because I was constantly making an ass of myself. So I fed them.
Do you think you'd have enjoyed them if you were...
I did. The
their
ones
age?
I knew I enjoyed very much. They were fascinating, but it was a different, again, it was a different sort of a lingo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a lingo just sort of maybe 10 years older than I. Just a different lingo. Mm-hmm. Just the way you're a different lingo. We talk okay, but we're really fundamentally a different lingo.
Are we? I feel very in tune with you some way.
That's my business.
That's right. Do you mean when you smile at me, it's acting?
Putting on the charm.
Well, all right. Now I'm going to ask you something
Yes.
really, really embarrassing. And do you remember me as an actor at all? Hello?
Do I remember you as an actor?
Mm-hmm.
I've been told I should.
Well, we were in a play together. Is this
Are you sure?
terribly unkind? Well, there's my answer. Did you say, are you sure?
Yes.
We were at Stratford, Connecticut together. I was a child. I was an apprentice. I was still in school. And I had one line in The Merchant of Venice. I had a beard. You were not even on the stage when I was on. And I had one line in that play. And I was able to write home and tell everyone that I was playing with Katharine Hepburn in the summer.
Oh,
it was really
dear.
something.
And what was the line?
Oh, I knew you'd do that. Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both.
And is that the way you said it? That's unkind. Oh, that's brutal.
I've never...
That's unfair.
I've never walked off on a
That's
guest.
right. Well, you should go.
And only...
You just move out and I'll take over because I think you're right. You're right.
Oh, dear.
And I'm sorry. You've got the property in Montauk. You can live a happy life.
That is how I said it, and well, how would you...
I had to say a line like that once, and I got fired, too. Did they keep you or let you go?
They kept me, possibly because you never saw my scene.
Dear.
Yeah, it was, there were only 2 men on stage at the time. One night, you fell down. We came running on. There was another scene where I was behind you in a crowd, and they had cables, and you went wham, coming on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. And your costume had snaps here, and it drove them into your arm, and it was very painful, and it bled, and you went right through that scene. I couldn't see a trace of pain on your face, and afterwards you were really kind of badly mangled.
Never be beaten by a snap. That's
the motto of the
That's the
theater.
attitude.
Yeah.
No, I don't
That's
think.
it.
I think when you're really concentrating, you don't feel anything like that at all. I truly do believe that. I think you just don't feel. That's why I think you can play when you're sick.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you achieve pure concentration, it's like mesmerism. You know, you just.
Terrible things have happened to people on stage, and they've gotten through it and then come
Yes.
off and faint
Yes,
or
or
something
die.
like that. Or die.
Or die. Yes.
You're looking into the wings.
Well, I'm looking to see if there's a chair
A chair.
for me to die in.
Oh. Is that how you'd like to go, in some very theatrical manner,
No,
falling
no,
into the drum
no,
or
no.
into the
In
chair?
bed. Die in bed. Go to sleep.
Just go and not know that you went.
That's right.
Can I ask you if you think you go anywhere after you die?
No, I don't think you go anywhere. I hope you just lie on the ground,
Yeah.
happy, at rest at last.
But at rest implies being conscious in some way. Of knowing
Don't
you're
have to
asleep.
rake any more leaves. No, I just think it's just fine. I think I think that would be fine.
Because
I
that-
don't feel that. I never have felt the slightest interest in the next world. I think it's here, and I think anything good that you're going to do, you should do for other people here, and not do anything to make yourself have a happy time in the next world, you know.
If it's
I
there...
mean, that really goes back to the Egyptian days when I was buried with all my jewels to show that I was rich, and I'd like to stay rich.
Yeah. That affects the way you lead your life, though, that conviction. I mean, if people haven't made their minds up on that
No,
point...
I don't believe in religion. I think religion, I believe in Christ, and I believe in the example of a perfect human being. That he certainly proved that if you can live for other people away from yourself, you will be happy. And if you live for yourself, you will be unhappy, and you will then not be able to sleep or do anything else. Finally. And I think that insofar as people live, and I really believe this very passionately, insofar as people do live with the other fellow in mind, they have to be happy. Because it raises you up, you know.
Sort of golden rule.
I think so. I really think so. And I think insofar as that can be observed, after all, we have no notion as to what the next world is, if there is one. So there's no point in that. But it's always been, I hear a lot of people saying, well, I don't know the difference between good and bad. I know totally, for myself, the difference between right and wrong. Totally. I know this because wrong makes me very uncomfortable and right makes me very happy. And I don't think it's so very difficult to know when you're doing the right thing and when you're doing the wrong thing. And I think each person, the right thing, the wrong thing varies. But committing a stinking act to someone else should make you unhappy. If it doesn't, you're diseased.
Yeah.
And you certainly are miserable.
Right, somebody said morality is self-evident.
Absolutely self-evident. And decent behavior in relation to our fellow man is the source of tremendous joy and tremendous lack of pain. I mean, you can rise above, with the spirit, you can rise above anything. If you're totally dedicated, as Christ was, to someone else, to other people, to the notion of other people, then he could rise above all pain and all sorts of things. And I believe that. I do believe that entirely. And I think many, many people practice it. I think we are in the habit today of picturing and hearing about nothing but the dismal failures. But I think many, many people, many women with children, you know, young children or children who have a tremendous problem, live the lives of absolute saints. People do the most extraordinary things for each other. People have done the most extraordinary things for me. And then said to me, aren't you wonderful? And I think, oh God, aren't I wonderful? Aren't you wonderful? So that I think I think there is a way of, you know, I think man can get better and better and better. That's why I'm interested in elevation and not sort of settling for the dismal sort of washout. I find this a bore.
The sameness of things.
No, I mean the person who obeys no rules, doesn't do a goddamn thing for anybody else, refuses to do anything for anybody else, thinks entirely about themselves, and wastes it and spends it and tosses it. I can't be terribly interested in them.
We'll be back after this message with Katharine Hepburn. Stay with us. Can you tell a friend if he's lousy in a film or in a play? How do you handle that? You know that feeling of
I
sitting
think it's a great bore to tell someone you could have been better. I hate people who come back and don't tell me I'm wonderful.
Yeah.
How can I do about it if I've done it? If I've done it.
You meant to be good.
Well, I mean, obviously I was trying as hard as I could.
Yeah.
I think it's terribly, you know, I think that's the biggest bore in the world.
Have you noticed that I haven't asked you any of the things that, like, do you smoke pot? Would you appear nude in the movies? And what else? And what's your most embarrassing experience? I hope you appreciate that.
Any of the absurd things that you usually ask people. Well.
Thanks a lot.
I assume that.
Oh, yes, it was hard for me,
I had
but
you terrified.
I did make an exception.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask you something. Can I mention Betty Davis's name one more time?
Yes, you may.
I asked her once if she could detect a parallel between how her private life was going and how her work was going. You know, in an actor's life, does the one affect the other adversely or favorably?
Yeah, well, I think no, usually favorably. The worse your private life, the pleasanter it is to go into a land, the Never Never Land.
To get away from it.
And then if you're very, very happy, the Never Never Land is. So most actors, I think, fundamentally can use the miseries. I think that's why I'm so happy. Some people can't use the miseries, you know. I think any kind of an artist generally can use the sorrows and the miseries for creative effect. Terrible thing to say, because it's not very, you know, flattering to their characters, but it is true.
But it makes you lucky to be an artist, isn't it, in a way, because other people don't have any place to use
Oh, I think you're lucky to be an artist.
Yeah.
Well paid, especially this kind, if you can call it an artist.
Yeah. Forgive me, are those teeth your own?
Yes.
They're they're of course the most famous teeth in the world, I suppose, and they're...
There's a crooked bottom one, but it doesn't show so much.
But every master...
It's lucky they're my own, because I show them all. I saw a picture of Walter Houston, me roaring with laughter, and you could see the wisdom teeth. They're my own, too.
You have
of them.
your wisdom teeth?
4 of them.
What good are they?
Well, they're just waiting to hold everything in someday. Terrible thought.
What is your size, by the way? Do you mind revealing that? What actors are you taller than?
Well, I'm 5'7" and a little plus.
That makes you taller than Robert Taylor.
Taller than yesterday.
Not taller than
No,
Cary
the
Grant.
ladies, I was tall, and I was got rid of several times because I was just tall. And now I'm short. So when I play with the young girls and I want to dominate them, I have to have them walk on the downside of the hill or off the step or something, because I like to be taller than they are.
Were you taller than Tracy
Yes,
then?
well, I was No, I wasn't. Spencer was about 5'11".
Ah.
But mind you, when you put on high heels, you know, there you go. You have an advantage. And he slumped and I stood up straight.
What else did they say was wrong with you in those days?
Practically everything.
Voice?
Well, voice, Tallulah Bankhead said, Kate has the most terrible voice I've ever heard. You go into a theater and you nearly die for the first 5 minutes. And when you come out, if anybody else talks, you can't stand it because they're so dull. So somebody else said I had a voice that sounded like nickels dropping into a slot. So it's loud and clear. But like anything, if you live long enough, as I have, you get an affection for something that irritates you. Because you miss it when it's gone. Say, where's that noise, you know?
Can you disguise it if you had to? Can you call up a friend and be someone else and fool them?
No, I don't try to. I just say hello. And if I don't want to talk to them, I say, I'm sorry, this is a sister. What can they say? They can't say, oh, you're not, because I have 2 of them.
Do your sisters sound like you, though? Would I know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
One sounds better and one sounds worse.
Yeah. Well, by the way, did you or did you not?
They'll never know which one.
That's right. I was just going to say, you've covered everything there. Did you or did you not do commercials for herring on the radio once?
Never did a commercial.
No,
And if I had done a commercial, I wouldn't have done one for a herring.
I know there was an imitation of you one time.
Yes, there was.
Have you,
But not very good imitations.
No one's ever done you
But
right
some that I don't know
on the
who
nose.
did that. No, not really. I don't. My name's Eva Lovelace, Lovelace. I added the lace. Do you smoke? I do. Really, I do. That's what they imitate.
That's how they say.
Yeah, 90 years ago.
And the old calla lilies line.
Calla lilies are in bloom again. Such a strange flower. I carried them on my wedding day, and now I place them here in memory of someone who is dead. That was the line.
While you're here, can I ask you one other thing? During the blacklisting period in Hollywood, I find that period entirely incomprehensible. I've read as much as I can about it. There's a recent book by Mr. Canfer on the subject. And I just wonder, 2 things about it are never satisfactorily explained. Why people put up with the brutal, rotten treatment that they got from the committee and all on that side.
Well, I think they had to, because I think it was popular.
Yeah.
Anything that's popular, just the way it's popular to be anti-Nixon, it was popular to be terrified of the communists.
Mm-hmm.
And the papers sort of took the sides. I mean, there were a lot of very reactionary papers.
Yeah.
And they'd give a headline to the fact, Hepburn, a communist, was a favorite cry.
Your name didn't come up.
Oh,
in
yes,
that.
yes.
Did it?
My name came up because I did a speech about censorship
Oh, yes.
in movies.
I've read that speech somewhere. Yes, you
I was
did.
against it. Well, I did two things, and that was in the Gilmore Stadium. And I, like a silly, I thought of wearing a white dress, and then I thought they'd call me the Dove of Peace, so I wore a pink dress, and they had right in their hands.
Bad choice.
And they picked that up. And then they were very cagey about me for a while, and then tried to force me to sign all sorts of things, and I wouldn't. But it was very difficult. I mean, it was fine with me, because if I didn't work, I still had money enough to live. But it was very, very tough on people who had families whom they had to support, and they really, literally could not get a job.
Some were literally killed by it.
Absolutely killed by it.
Yeah. Can I ask you how Mr. Tracy felt on that subject?
He just said, remember who shot Lincoln. And he didn't go in for politics.
An actor.
That's right.
Yes. There's something about you. I know that as long as I've been in this game, people have said, I don't suppose there's any chance you could ever get Katharine Hepburn. And I've always said I assume not, because I know years ago I worked in talk shows, and you at one point said, I have a quick answer for that. You know, actors belong.
Yes.
And it's unbelievable to me, I guess, really, that we're sitting here. I have a feeling I'll wake up, and they'll say, oh, you know, and they'll say, you got to get to work. And by the way, Hepburn isn't going to show up. I don't know what that is. I've fallen in love with you at least 7 times that I can count in the past hour or so.
Continue.
Before I come apart, I think we should take a message. We'll be back. I'm so grateful to you for being here, and I'm looking forward to the American Film Theater project. A Delicate Balance, Edward Albee, is your play.
Yep.
And I guess we mentioned earlier
Paul
that
Schofield.
Paul Schofield will be in that. And they also have Olivier and the Three Sisters and Rhinoceros and Homecoming and full-length The Iceman Cometh,
Yeah,
which is a real...
yeah, 4 hours.
Well, the time has come to say goodbye to you, and I can't think of anything I'd less rather say to you. I have never enjoyed anything more than this in my life. And,
You know something funny?
what?
I've enjoyed it too.
Have you really?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
I have. I didn't know whether I would or not,
Yeah.
but I have.
Well, I'm glad, and I'm glad for the handful of people who got to sit in the studio to see you do this unexpectedly the way you did. I know your feelings about privacy. I don't know what to say. I realize the rarity of this event, and I'm damn proud to be able
Thank
to say
you
that I
very
know you, and thank you for being so generous and so
Well,
wonderful.
you can't do it alone, so thank you
Okay.
very much.
We'll see you, and good night. Will it sound odd that the people who...
You show up? Who's the head of properties?
William, that is the glass she had.
How
The
many-
gold rim? I thought it was my own glass.
You're a stickler
It
for
wasn't.
deep... I think I did have powder on. I might look suddenly glass. Made of glass.
We just need to check audio, so if you talk a little bit.
I just wish at some point we could get you going over this wall. You could say, how do I get out of here? Climb over.
Oh, you got made up this time.
No, I didn't. But I think I was powdered last time, so I thought I ought to be powdered this time.
Ms. Hepburn and Mr. Cavett, can we have a little audio, just a little discussion so we can check your mic?
I just noticed...
We've lost a camera.
No, I
Haven't
had-
we? Am I cuckoo? Weren't there 4? Were there 4 cameras?
No.
3.
You know, we did lose one in the taping last time.
Yes.
The shirt was higher.
Which one?
That one, yeah, great.
When a person could have moved his shirt during it.
Well, I know, she can do whatever she wants when she's doing it.
She'd never move that shirt.
No. Oh. That's wonderful lip stuff. What is it? Works great. It's the best stuff I ever...
I'll get you some. It's made for me
God, it's terrific.
because my skin is.
Beeswax or something?
No, it isn't. It's you know, my terrible skin that just.
My skin started to flake off this weekend.
Oh, hands.
She had a tape on her fingers.
Oh, no one's going to notice
Yes, I
that.
had a tape on my finger and my hands were made up.
Maybe you tore it off during the break.
Phyllis?
Yeah, she hears you up here.
Oh, well, don't come down. I'll go up.
No, they're coming down anyway, Miss Hepburn.
I'll just go up.
Don't perspire.
Mickey, when the coffee's hot, give me a cup of regular coffee. When it's hot. All right, when you get to it, again, when you call for the closing, this is the one that you don't have to mention the American Film Theater.
Well, what's the first thing that we didn't do? Say that again.
When you call for it, when you say, okay, let's do the first closing, she
Okay.
will start to thank her. She will get up and take her stuff and walk off, and you say, I swear to you, she'll be thanking
I see.
And then always hold at the end of those good nights so we can, just for editing purposes, just
I just say to her something like, yeah, maybe this would work since you surprised me by deciding to do this before we'd planned to. I'm going to surprise you by saying that you have to come back tomorrow night. We just have to go on.
But she just wanted immediately to get up and grab the stuff. And when you say thank you, I think that's her cue to just beat it. She's,
Oh, just...
I think
and
that's
then,
what she had in mind, because that's what she did last time. You mean I can go? She'll do a
Yeah.
mistake. Maybe we should just talk to
just on the cue of something like we've come to the end of our time tonight. And,
If you think it's better the other way, talk to her about it.
yeah, well, we'll see. Because I could say you want to take a rest, and she could just get up and do it.
I don't think a rest.
Take a nap.
You're right.
What's this jazz?
You had tea last time.
Oh. Yes, but it was in the glass.
It was? You didn't have
I don't... It will make a
I don't think so.
bit of difference, as long as we look about the same in the same color. Scanning the far horizon, wondering what the end will be. Half-caste woman, what are your slanting eyes? Watching and waiting to see.
Yes. No, it wasn't.
Did you punch a hole in the shirt last time or
Not
anything?
This one, no, it was the other shirt we had. This was the same.
The right colors.
And it's the way it's hanging.
Exercise.
17 days. Full movie. $278,000.
Oh, back. Sorry you had to see that.
What is that?
I was doing
Your
my
back?
push-ups.
Can you? I can't. I never could do one. Now, wait a minute.
That I can't believe. I bet you could do pull-ups.
Yeah.
It was on your left hand, Miss Hepburn.
It was right there.
Your hands look so wonderful on the tape. They're just...
Don't tell me that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Somebody
Oh,
said
no,
that
you'll start
once.
to-
And then I played
Yeah.
Little Minister. And my hands were so exquisite that it drove everyone right out of the theater. One kind word might overdo everything, so
That's like saying, I love the way you putt, just before you putt.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
upsmanship,
yes.
putter, whatever.
But Irene was thrilled with your house. She said, I'd die of jealousy. She said, you must never go there.
Hell, that means you won't. Yeah.
Must never go. She said it was so thrilling. I said, I thought it looked rather windy and bleak.
It does in that picture, but she caught it on a day that was magical. It was one of those crystal clear days like travel posters when the air looks like a Greek travel
Is this
poster
the right
from Greece.
table? This is the wrong table, isn't it? No, this is the right
Oh, wait a
table.
minute.
No, this is the right table.
Yeah, because you couldn't have gotten your feet that
no,
high.
No, well, I could, but
Well, I don't mean
I
you couldn't.
shouldn't
I
have.
don't mean you're physically incapable. Hello.
So what are we going to do now?
Shall we talk a little just so it looks like we come out of it natural, and then
And then you say, do you look around at someone?
I'll probably look at the clock or something and say something
I
like,
say, "What's the
I'm
matter?"
afraid we've come to the end of the...
Oh, that's it?
And then something like
I
that.
see. Well, thank you very much.
But...
And just go. Is that right?
Sure, let's see how that...
Talk a little bit further.
No, I think I'll probably call you back and just say,
Yes, please.
back tomorrow night. So we should just talk, give you some... Okay.
You can join her.
I could leave too.
I mean, talk over there.
That's true.
No, I won't go. We must be very careful not to be cute.
That's true. Okay. Okay, well, let's talk about something. Have you noticed that I haven't asked you any of the things that, like, do you smoke pot? Would you appear nude in the movies? And what else? And what's your most embarrassing
You
experience?
mean
I hope you appreciate
any
that.
of the absurd things that you usually ask people? Well,
Thanks a lot.
I assume that
Oh, yes, it was hard for me,
I had
but
you terrified.
I did make an exception.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask you something. Can I mention Betty Davis's name one more time?
Yes, you may.
I asked her once if she could detect a parallel between how her private life was going and how her work was going. You know, in an actor's life, does the one affect the other adversely or favorably?
Yeah, well, I think usually favorably. The worse your private life,
Yeah.
the pleasanter it is to go into a land, the Never Never Land.
To get away from it.
And then if you're very, very happy, the Never Never Land is. So most actors, I think, fundamentally can use the miseries. I think that's why I'm so happy.
You mean
Some people can't use the miseries, you know. I think any kind of an artist generally can use the sorrows and the miseries for creative effect. Terrible thing to say, because it's not very, you know, flattering to their characters, but it is true.
But it makes you lucky to be an artist, isn't it, in a way, because other people don't have any place to use
Oh,
those
I think
miseries.
you're lucky to be an artist.
Yeah.
Well paid, especially this kind, if you can call it an artist.
I couldn't figure out why that would be. Her answer was the same, that when her private life was troubled, her film work was better than ever. And I wondered if it's because...
Well, you're on the qui-vive, you know.
And maybe the
But
emotions
I think
are...
that's true. No, I think that's true with everything, don't you? I mean, you're wide awake and sort of alert to... You're not kind of sleepy time Joe, loving the, you know, just coasting along.
Yeah. I think I'm an exception to that. I think if I were having trouble, I would think, oh, they got no right to make me act or perform or work. I got enough problems on the outside.
Yes, I think you can think that.
Yeah.
And yet when you get there, because you know that you're either making a fool of yourself or being witty and fun to a big audience, at it, get on with it. And otherwise you don't. So that it's a helpful profession to have to be, well, you're selling yourself and you can't sell a drip.
Yeah.
Well, you can't sell a drip.
A number of them have been sold. That's funny. By the way, I must ask you this. Forgive me. Are those teeth your own?
Yes.
They're they're of course the most famous teeth in the world, I suppose, and they're...
There's a crooked bottom one, but it doesn't show so much.
But every master...
It's lucky they're my own, because I show them all. I saw a picture of Walter Houston, me, roaring with laughter, and you could see the wisdom teeth. They're my own, too.
You have your wisdom teeth?
4 of them.
What good are they?
Well, they're just waiting to hold everything in someday. Terrible thought.
It's funny to sit here with you. I must say I know a lot of people probably envy me intensely.
They may be getting rather sick of it now, but...
I doubt that. Have you ever been in the presence of somebody where you were in awe?
Oh, yes.
Where you just really couldn't think of what to do or say?
Yes. Getting that way rapidly. In presence of anyone. Haven't you?
But what kind of person is it? A statesman, great actors?
No, I don't think so. It's just how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you think you're not doing so well, you get more and more full of awe.
Presidents haven't frightened you?
Yes,
FDR?
FDR did, but also he was very easy and sweet and stimulating.
Yeah.
I visited him at the White House once because he wanted me to do a movie, and he was a friend of my mother's. And I said, how am I going to know when I'm supposed to leave? And he said, I'm going to tell you, Kate. I'll just get up and leave the room. He said, then you can go. What about you?
That makes it easy.
When can I go?
I avoided your question, didn't I? You asked if I'd ever been in awe, and I realized I threw the ball back to you. I thought I was going to be when I'm not, which is surprising. I thought Olivier would terrify me, and he was most unterrifying.
Mm.
And,
but then I think you felt that you had done well with him.
maybe
If you're
that's it.
really honest.
But I think he maybe...
Whereas if you just stayed in awe and hadn't helped him, you see, it's your business to make me fascinating. Now, if you make me a bore, you have a double burden,
I'd like
haven't you? Because you have to juggle it so that the person comes off well, and so you sort of come off well.
Sometime when you come back and let me try to make you a bore, just to see if I'm good enough to
You
do
can
that.
make me a bore very easily, I'll tell you that. Anyone can be a bore. This is the sad truth.
I'll take that chance. We have a... Oh, I saw the...
Phyllis feels that there's a slight problem with makeup, but she wants Tori to take a look.
What's the matter?
Okay.
What's wrong?
That's why if you would like to see, get out.
Well, where's the
I remember.
This was tucked in. Was it?
I thought you were signaling me. I was just going to go to the...
No, no. I just wanted to break it. It was just a pipe.
You know, that little piece that
Yeah.
was down.
Wait a minute, let me do it, because otherwise it doesn't.
You have it now.
Aren't we going on a little too long?
I was sort of waiting for a signal.
Oh,
Why don't you slate this? First, good night.
Okay.
And this is where you leave, Miss Hepburn.
Or not.
it's wiggling.
Yeah. Gotta put the comb higher, kid. That's good.
Okay.
Fine, give me.
What are your...
It's terrible trying to match something, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When I can't remember what
Seems
the
to match
picture bit
perfectly,
was.
though.
It does.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's... no, that's no problem. Yeah, it's very self-conscious making, in a way, because you think,
Yeah.
are we looking the same? Are we doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Again, after Miss Hepburn leaves, we'll come back to you and you'll say that she will be back tomorrow night. And just hold your position that you, Miss Hepburn, can walk right out of it.
And I just get out. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have to come back on with these two things.
See, I want to say, I got to make it clear that there'll be a tomorrow night. And that's my main, yeah. Now you want to roll a little now to get into a time cue.
It's rolling.
Okay. Let's see.
Yes. Ask me about George Cukor.
Okay.
Will you?
Yeah. I know just how I can do that. I know how to do that. I'll do it indirectly, so it doesn't look like I brought up his name.
Well, we were talking at one point about Jack Barrymore,
Yeah.
weren't we?
Another easy way to do it would be to say, you know all those people they always thank on Academy Awards, do those people really deserve it? You know,
Yeah,
because the public
yeah.
doesn't know who the hell they are.
Yes.
Something you could say, well, in the director's case, they do, you know, something. Would that be all right? Is it,
Yes,
Is that
fine.
too
Fine.
sneaky?
Let them know when they're ready, Bill.
We could, if we had two or three of these for those awkward moments where we want to, you know, little.
I'll hit the prompter when they're...
Or you could ask me, who do you think is the most important person in the film industry? And I would
Okay.
say the director.
All right, that's
You see?
that's quicker.
Dick, if you can just watch the prompter, then you'll know we're in that 2-minute area.
Because that would be a separate.
Let's go.
Let me do it part my way and part
Oh, well,
your
you
way.
just surprised me, but that's really the best way
Okay.
to do it. Or talk about something else, and then, you know.
Dick, just for cutaway shots.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't need a couple reaction
didn't do
shots
George
or
Cukor.
something. That's the damn thing I was
Yeah,
going to do.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the 1 minute thing we were going to do.
Yeah.
All right, do that first. Bill,
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm.
one conversational thing
Exploiting
first,
you
then
now.
we'll go with that. We'll do one conversation.
I couldn't think what it was. I thought, is this an ending? Is this?
I thought with the Philadelphia story, I should have picked that up because he directed it. You see.
Yeah. That's the price of my not working every week. That's the kind of thing I forget. I used to be able to. I'm getting so damned old.
No, I should have picked that up.
Or said I was going to say. Who? Yeah. Okay. Who's important? Have we got tape left?
Yes.
Good. It's silly to run out now before I get my. It's easy.
Now we're going to set up where we're shooting over Miss Hepburn's shoulder. It's you, and she will be talking. You just listen. This is for the editing shots.
Now you have to tell me how to do this because I don't make reaction shots.
Nothing overacting. I mean, just she's talking and you're listening. At most, we'll use it for 2 seconds.
Is she actually talking or?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
and
well, I'll be talking.
I'm listening.
I'll
Okay.
tell you
I guess you
how
get to
should
interview me
react
now.
to this sort of thing.
Okay. You call for an emotion and I'll let it play across my face.
Well, how did you start doing this?
I started appearing as a guest on these shows.
And then realized you had sort of
I was a writer for
gift for it.
Par.
Yeah. Oh, were you really?
Yeah, that's how I started. I wrote for Par, then I wrote for Car. And then I started to do my act as a panelist on these shows, talk it, because it was about my life, theoretically, anyway. And then they had me host a show once, and I filled in for Carson one night.
When was this?
Oh, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 7 years ago. I lose track of time. But one night I was sitting in Sardi's, and they just said, "Carson's sick, you have to host for him tonight." And I had appeared on the show, and the fact that I didn't have much notice made it easy.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of, well, it's too late to get scared. I'll just have to do it.
Yeah.
I did that twice. And then ABC had a daytime talk show, which they
You kicked your
thought of.
thing off.
Excuse me, Ms. Hepburn, Mr. Cavett. We're going to take a reaction of Ms. Hepburn listening to you talk. So just you talk, Dick, this time.
Oh, I just
we're
did.
not going to record your sound. It's just a picture of Ms. Hepburn listening to you.
But I just told my life. I'll have to tell someone else's. Let's see. Anyway, I started doing an act in the Village while I was writing for Carson. So I had to think of gags during the day for him, and then I had to go down at night and do them for myself.
God.
Different ones. And it's impossible to write for yourself, and it's easy to write for anybody else. I can write for any comedian in the business. Easy. I can just hear them and imitate it.
Yeah.
But to think, well, what do I say when I go out on stage? Suddenly you don't have a style to imitate, you don't have a voice that you hear in your ear, you know, and you don't have a character in mind, really, unless you're enormously fat or enormously short or enormously tall or, you know, something that would physically give you your character.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was sort of boringly Protestant, Goyish, Midwestern. I couldn't really think of anything freakish enough, so what did I talk about? And the thing I picked was, to start me, was a kid from Nebraska going to an Eastern school, because that was a real situation.
Is that where you came?
Nebraska.
You came from.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do I seem continental?
Can we have just a little bit more of just Mr. Cavett talking, please? Thank you.
Hey, this is fun. Why don't they ever invite me on these shows? My life's being probed by the guest. It's not fair.
You can just count to 10, Dick, or ABC. It really doesn't make any difference. We're not recording your sound. We're just looking for her reaction for editing purposes.
Oh, okay. Should have recorded the sound. I've never told these things to anybody.
Well, we really did. We'll send you a copy in the morning.
I thought so. Thanks a lot.
So then, what happened? You went.
So then I got into the drug episode in my life.
The what?
I just wanted to get that reaction from you. I'm sorry. I've cheated you. No, then see, what happened then? Where were we? Oh, well, then then that gave me a gimmick, at least. I mean, something to write about. A kid from the Midwest being in the East, and somewhat of a hayseed and all. And then that was a spring for some jokes. You know, what they thought of my clothes when I got to New Haven, and, you know, how I looked.
You mean you were just talking about yourself?
Yeah, but I wrote laugh lines. I mean, places where they were supposed to laugh, specific jokes. But until I had a subject and a character, it was impossible. I thought it'd be easy to just string together a lot of jokes that I'd written for other people and go down and say them. And the first night I did that down in the Greenwich Village, I dropped dead for 20 minutes. I mean,
Yes.
bomb-ola.
I did that because I had to go on as an understudy for Hope Williams, and I was just imitating her.
Yeah.
And just egg after egg after egg after egg. Oh, God, it was absolutely terrifying.
I can remember the sweat forming over my
Yes, oh,
eyebrows,
right.
and I thought, if it's going to go over the dam in a minute, and it came down into my eyes, and I thought, do I wipe it off, or do I just keep talking? You know?
Excuse me now. Ms. Hepburn, if we're not going to reverse the procedure, if you will just talk to Dick so we can get reaction shots of Dick without Dick talking at all, okay? And
You
of course
got
you
that,
can go
Pat,
ABC,
oh.
etc. Thank you.
No to talk at all?
Not a word. Well, now, I'll tell you, you want to know what Irene Selznick said about you. What I don't understand is what you were all doing at Ed Obi's for lunch. How many people were there? You can't even answer me, poor thing. How did you get asked? Because that's a rather high-class group of people. How did you get in? That's what I don't understand.
I might as well talk.
Terrified.
I'm going to send the answer to you mentally.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, don't stop.
oh yeah, you don't dare look comfortable on television.
Well, I hope I look comfortable. But
Very, completely.
Then she said he has a swimming pool. I thought you all lived near the water.
I don't have a pool. Albee.
No, Albee has a pool.
Yeah, well, it's
Albee
silly
has
to have a pool.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
And,
I'm not supposed to talk.
No, you're not supposed to say a thing. Thank you. That's it.
Yes, what we need now is the 2 openings, and it only requires Richard.
Are you going to be able to do it without me here now? That's the question.
I don't think so. I don't see any reason to.
What time is it, please?
It is 10 after 2.
10 after. Oh, that's great.
Can we take a 5-minute break then or something? So
Yes. All right, take 5. Take 5.